you know, 10 strikes, just 10 deliveries to win this game, but the Jaguars need to bat and accumulate 145 runs. So that's the position as the covers are being removed, the large covers, and then you've got the cover, the one that covers the pitch. The ground staff are out there trotting around, getting their job done because no rain at this moment. And certainly we'll update you. I want to believe that we'll have play shortly. So that's the position here from Providence. Stay tuned. We'll be back with you in a few moments when play is ready to start. hello to everyone right across beautiful Guyana, Jamaica, the Eastern Caribbean, to other parts of the world, picking up the commentary, of course, audio, and of course, live streaming on YouTube. Welcome to everyone from the National Stadium at Providence. We greet you with the news that play will start at 10 hours 35, the final day's play of the match between the Guyana Jaguars and the Jamaica Scorpions. Well, there have been some adjustments. As a result of rain, we've had that loss of time, but that time can be made up at the back end of the day. So play it should end at 5:35 according to calculations. But John Ramsing is alongside me in the analyst chair position. John, play start in 35 minutes late, so lunch will be taken at 12:30. And then when after lunch, we come out back at 1:10. We go up to 3:30 and then to 5:30. But of course, all of that simply the stats, the information presented to us. I don't think the Guyana Jaguars will want the game to go that long. They need 145 more runs to win this match, as we visited here in our Providence with brilliant sunshine. They're 25 without loss. Overnight score with Hemraj on 16. Played some streaky shots, but he got a couple of boundaries. And of course, Tate Chandrapal, who looked a little bit aggressive, which is normally not seen in him from the start. He's 9 not out, no extras, 25 without loss, just needing 145 more to win this game. John, good morning. Conditions good now for cricket?
Good morning, Matthew. Certainly conditions that we would like for cricket. Nice and sunny, a little bit of a wind as well, so should be cool morning, cool Sunday morning. Good morning to listeners wherever you're joining us this morning. And after that early sharp burst of rain this morning, it's now really immaculate conditions for cricket. I think the rain just came to cool things down a bit, and would have done just that. But the action will be heated in the middle. The Guyana Jaguars 145 runs away from another victory in this season. Jamaica Scorpions, they know they just need to have 10 spot-on deliveries, and they can be the ones leaving Guyana with a victory. So it sets up nicely, really, but the Guyana Jaguars should back themselves to get that 145 more needed. They had a good start yesterday afternoon as well.
Right, so the sun is with us. We've got some dark clouds over Providence, but no threat of rain, so the umpires have got it spot on. Taylor will start from the commentary box, and then he will come in to bowl to Chandrapal Hemraj, the left-handed opening batsman. Here is Taylor, comes up, he's in bowls. Chandrapal is across and just pushes it down towards cover. And there is no run, bowling with 2 slips and 2 gullies this morning. Backward point, there is a cover, there is a mid-on, there is a mid-wicket and a man on the long leg boundary. So that's the field placement for you. So the Jaguars need 145 to win today. And I suspect, given all calculations, they will want to get that very quickly, because they would be mindful that the weather can change as well. Here is Taylor, makes his way in brilliant sunshine. He's up past his umpire blades, and a ball that's pitched outside the line of the off stump. Hemraj doesn't need to offer a shot taken by the keeper, no run. He's kept on 69 to Tate Chandrapal. But during the course of today, John, and depending on how long the match will go for, we'll just do some recap for you, some highlights of some fine performances from players in this match thus far. And of course, we can start with when Jamaica batted, a fine knock of 86 from a bowler, actually. Maybe I don't know if you call him a bowling all-rounder, but he's certainly a bowler for Jamaica, Dorval Green. Fine knock that put Jamaica in a position where they could have got such a good, healthy score in the first innings, 358. Here is Taylor, begins to move away from the commentary box, and he's up, passes the umpire, bowls to Hemraj. Hemraj is across, jumping into line as he stabs it out into the offside. Footed comes in from point to pick up. And there is no run. So good knocks from Dorval Green, and of course Brandon King, the 24-year-old youngster who got a well-played 51.
Dorval Green actually came at a time when wickets stumbled around him before, and he actually got some bad balls, some bad bowling from the Guyana Jaguars at the time, and Leon Johnson thought he would have bought his wicket by bringing on some part-time bowlers, including himself, Leon Johnson, and Dorval Green actually muscled his way to a very well played 86, And of course, before that, Brandon King, like you mentioned, a classical half century as well.
Here is Taylor bowling around the wicket, change the angle this time. French cut down towards fine leg. Will Bulai get it wrong? He doesn't, and that will go for 4. That beat him into the boundary. Good diving effort to his left. Bulai down on the fine leg boundary, but unable to save that boundary. But a streaky shot from Hemraj. Taylor just changing the angle, changing the line, and almost had his man.
Well, that is exactly what did it for Chandrapal Hemraj. Taylor coming round the wicket to the left-handed batsman now, forcing him into the shot, and he got the inside edge. Luckily, did not go on to hit the wicket. And I think Bulai could have done a bit better. He got to the ball, and then he actually went down to collect, and it went through him. But streaky shot in the end for Hemraj. He'd be better advised to just at least start with be a bit more cautious. Jerome Taylor is certainly going to be fired up, looking for wickets, and he's an experienced player. You just need to show him some more respect, and then he can perhaps look to put away the bad balls. That was a good ball.
He's back over the wicket now to Chandrapal Hemraj. 141 needed now. That's a good delivery, one that moves away. Good bounce, good pace on that occasion. And Hemraj, not in any trouble at all, allows it to go by, to be taken by the keeper. No chance of a run. Let's not forget 44, a good knock of 44 from Blackwood as well. And then, of course, Bulai and Kenroy Williams got 33 apiece, and Palmer, the captain, got 29. So they were reasonably good scores from their other batsmen.
Yeah, they batted well in the first innings generally, and they batted in partnerships as well. They were quick knocks, like Blackwood 44. We expect him to be attacking, to be positive, and we expect him to make runs. He just finished playing some international cricket, so we expect that of him coming down one level.
Taylor again changes the angle, bowling round the wicket, so he's trying everything that he knows. He's got the experience outside the off stump taken by the keeper. The over comes to an end. Just 4 runs. The French cut there, almost getting his man actually. 29 without loss, the end of the first over.
But Taylor, like you said, attacking, trying everything. First he was over the wicket, then he went round the wicket, came back over the wicket, and finally finishing round the wicket to the left-handed Chandrapal Hemraj. That last delivery pitched and straightened and had enough to go into the gloves of the keeper, beating the outside edge of the bat of Hemraj, who I think played in the line, so was not genuinely beaten. But I think Taylor looking to get an early breakthrough, and why not? You need wickets to get yourself back into this game. If you're defending 170 on already the opposition at 29 without loss. Now the sunshine is back at us. The pitch has been a very steady one, has not been giving you too much of extraordinary bounce, keeping low the odd one. But other than that, it's been a very good track for batting. So the Guyana Jaguars will need to just bat it out really to get these runs. The biggest threat, in my opinion, for the Jamaica Scorpions with the ball will be Dennis Bulai. But the ball is just 5 overs old. He will not be able to spin that new ball effectively just yet.
Right, so I certainly agree with John on that. Bulai, he will come in at some point in time, but not much runs to play with, just 141 needed. And the Jaguars haven't lost a wicket. Let's watch Derval Green bowling over the wicket to Tej Chandrapal. That's on the leg stump. He's walking into defensive stroke, pushed away down to mid-on, picked up by Taylor, no run. Let's analyze the Guyana bowling in the first innings. Shepherd got 2 for 69, Pamal 3 for 76, Moti 2 for 70, and Rutherford 3 for 52. I thought after it was Shepherd and Pamal who picked up the first 2 wickets, I thought the key aspect of that innings, or the key aspect of the bowling, came when Rutherford got 3 beautiful strikes in removing King, Footerden, and Blackwood. Here is a ball, in fact, dead ball signaled by the umpire. He doesn't deliver, and the score is kept on 29 without loss. But when Rutherford came on and he bowled King in the first innings, and then he had Footerden caught, and Blackwood as well caught, I thought it was Rutherford's spell that really got deep into the Jamaica batting, even though they were stubborn partnerships down the order. I thought Rutherford's bowling was pretty good.
Rutherford certainly came into this game as a replacement for Kimo Paul and maybe for Pestano as well. Of course, couldn't be replacing 2 players, but what his role was basically to get some bowling and, of course, to strengthen the batting. We know what he can do with both bat and ball. So when he had the opportunity with the ball, he actually made it count, and that was very good from him.
And of course, the usual experience when you look at you look at Shepard, 2 for 69. He's bowled well so far in this tournament. Pamal always chipping in the veteran experience left-hand orthodox spinner, 3 for 76. And of course, Moti coming into his own and picking up 2 wickets as well in that first innings. Showed the all-round effort from the Guyana bowling department. Here is Green bowls. That's a ball that he chips up in the air. I think that was a bit of a little slow delivery, but Chandrapal came across and he was looking to turn it into the onside, and he chipped it up in the air, but no one was close to take a catch. He's kept on 9, 22. That's Hemraj, the total up to 29 without loss.
A little bit of bounce on that occasion from Darvel Green, but coming over the wicket to the left-handed Chandrapal is not going to create that much of pressure if he's going to be bowling into the pad of Chandrapal. But a little bit of bounce, and Chandrapal equal to the task, not going to be outdone.
Right, so 2 slips in a gully for Tej Chandrapal. He settles, crouches, and he's squared up as he pushes it out towards cover. Picked up by, looks like Palmer, the captain. So 2 slips in a gully. We've got a backward point and a cover. There's a mid-off, mid-on. There's a forward square, and there is a long leg for you. That's the field placement for you. 29 without loss. Resuming overnight, 25 without loss with Hemraj on 16 and Tej Chandrapal on 9. And when you look at the fact that they picked up 25 runs in 4 overs, it shows that the Guyana Jaguars camp is very positive in getting to 170 runs. There is a ball that's driven down towards mid-off. There is no run picked up by Bulai. They're not afraid of the Jamaican bowlers at all. They know that they've got a tall and a good, strong batting lineup with the likes of Johnson, who got a half century, Vishal Singh as well. There's Reefer, who played well, and Anthony Bramble. They all chipped in nicely in the first innings to take Guyana up to 321 all out. And so these are batsmen who are in good touch. So Jamaica would certainly have to ensure that their bowling can be spot on. They've got to fight. They've got to show that they're competitive. Here is Green, comes up, bowls, good delivery. Chandrapal just comes across his stumps and then pulls the bat inside the line, taken by the keeper. The over comes to an end. 29 without loss, John. 2 overs have been bowled on the 4th day so far.
Yes, a good start from both teams, I would say, because Chandrapal blocking out and seeing out a maiden from Darvel Green. That's a very good over from Green. But Chandrapal looked very accomplished in doing so. Did not give the impression that he was uncomfortable by any stretch of the imagination. And of course, the previous over with Jerome Taylor bowling to Hemraj. Hemraj just had that one French cut, but other than that, he seemed to be equal to the task as well. But Taylor looking desperately for a wicket, going over the wicket and round the wicket to the left-handed batsman, bowling some cutters as well. So he's going to be the key man in this opening burst for the Jamaica Scorpions. And the Guyana Jaguars will need to recognize that and just show him the respect. And when the ball gets a bit older, I think Bulai is going to come into play. But not a lot of runs for Jamaica Scorpions to defend.
So Taylor's employing 2 gullies for Hemraj. Just 1 gully for that's Tej Chandrapal. That's driven. Nice shot. Down forward of point. No chance at all for Fullerton down to the boundary for 4. Onto the front foot, Chandrapal Hemraj to a ball pitched up just outside the line of the off stump. Full length delivery and length into the drive and hammered it nicely down forward of point for 4. That's a good shot.
The key in that shot from Hemraj is that he went forward, launched into the shot, and then he drove it all along the ground. Fullerton at backward point had no chance because it was played to the left of him, which means a bit more square. Fullerton is backward. Maybe he had been or just maybe at cover point itself might have had a chance, but it was perfect placement for Hemraj over pitching from Jerome Taylor. Maybe you just want to pull it back just a little bit.
And when you look at the cover position on the offside, there's a lot of estate there. That's outside the off, some bit of lift there for Taylor, taken by the keeper, no run. Good to see Jerome Taylor at age 34, still getting some good pace and bounce. And it shows the quality fast bowler he's been down through the years, not only for Jamaica, but mainly for the West Indies, picking up 130 test wickets, Jerome Taylor. But he's shown his worth and really a good man to have in your side. When you look at the Jamaica Scorpions exploits this year, well, they won their last 2 games before coming here to Guyana. So certainly there's been improvement in the camp and the positivity of the players in having experience around. It's good for them. as he begins to move in now. We've lost the sunshine here at Providence. No threat of rain. Taylor goes in, bowls to Hemraj. Hemraj gets the ball, shapes away from the left-hander. Nice bowling from Jerome Taylor, who started from the commentary box and taken by the keeper, no run. The score is kept on 33 without loss.
Well, the last delivery there had some amount of movement and pace as well, and the previous one to that was all pace. So Taylor actually bending his back here at Providence and running in hard. Hemraj so far showing good judgment, allowing the ball to go by to the wicket keeper. But the last one, because of the outward movement, did not threaten the bat. But I think Jerome Taylor will look to get one back into the left-handed batsman now, because he's getting the ball to move both ways.
So 137 to get, I believe. Here is Taylor bowling round the wicket to Hemraj. Hemraj gets the ball on the line of the leg stump. He tucks it away towards mid-wicket for the fielder to come in. That's Kenroy Williams, who picks up, and he doesn't score. So he scored 2 boundaries so far this morning. One, a French cut down to fine leg for 4, inside edge, and then he got a lovely boundary forward of footed in at point for 4. Chandrapal hasn't scored as yet for the morning, but 2 boundaries, a total up to 33 without loss. So 37 to get, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's correct. 137.
137 now.
So the countdown is on.
So the countdown is well and truly on. Jamaica need 10 strikes, but those 10 strikes might be very difficult indeed for them. Here's a ball on the middle stump, and that went over the stumps. Actually, how did that miss? It's simply because of the bounce, but outdone by the pace on that occasion. Ball pitched dead on target, but the bounce there saved Chandrapal Hemraj.
Beautiful delivery from Jerome Taylor coming around the wicket, and Chandrapal was hoping that delivery would come into him, but it pitched just short of a good length and straightened, and that ball cutting Chandrapal in half, and a good take from the wicket keeper as well, because it was moving for the inward, and the keeper had to move around to his right to hold on to it. Well bowled, Jerome Taylor.
These are 2 openers who would want to be consistent as often as they can, because eyes are on them. Here is Taylor, rushes past the umpire and strikes Chandrapal on the pad, going down the leg side for certain, and not out, says the umpire. There wasn't any appeal really, just a little stifled, half-hearted appeal, but in the end, going way down the leg side as he overcomes to the end. 33 without loss, John. 2 boundaries so far to Chandrapal this morning. Hemraj.
And Taylor on the last over, getting it much closer, the last delivery to Chandrapal, and taking him on the pad as Chandrapal Hemraj, taking him on the pad. What Taylor is looking to do, looking to get the ball full and straight, because the short ones with the extra bounce going over the top of the stump, and Chandrapal Hemraj showing good judgment and allowing the others to just go by to the keeper. So what Taylor will be looking to do is to get much closer to induce the rash shot from the left-handed Chandrapal Hemraj.
Right, so we're going to continue, because we suspect the game is not going to go very long today. But we're just giving you some highlights of the match so far. And you look at the Guyana batting now, John. We can come to the Guyana batting in their first innings, of course. Johnson, the captain, finally getting another half century. That's tucked away. Nice shot down towards long leg for 1. Tage Chandrapal getting inside his stumps. The ball pitched on the leg stump from Dorval Green. So he gets his first run this morning. He moves into double figures. He's on to 10. It's 34 without loss. Of course, Johnson getting a half century. Vishal Singh as well, coming good with a well-played 61. And then down the order, you see Barnwell getting 41, Reefer 27. And of course, Young Sheriff and Rutherford, who batted up the order, came in at number 3 actually. He got a nice 31 before Powell picked him up. So good scores. They didn't go on, some of them 2 half centuries, but the others not going on as they would have wanted, ensuring that Guyana got close to that 358, 321 all out.
Yes, it was a good reply from the Guyana Jaguars. They were hoping that from some personal standpoints that would have got more, but it was very competitive. The Scorpions bowled really well as well.
Here's a ball driven through the covers, 4 runs. Even the man at cover, I think that's the captain, threw himself to his left, but that was hit with ferocious power by Chandrapal Hemraj. It sped away to the boundaries. 3rd boundary this morning. He wants to score them in boundaries, John. The total move up to 38 without loss.
Yes, he's certainly dealing in boundaries, and that one is another convincing boundary. Ball was pitched up just on the line of off stump, and he just drove through the line all along the ground, and it sped away to the cover boundary for 4. Good looking runs to Hemraj, and it's good to see Chandler Paul as well getting off the mark this morning. He picked up a single at the start of the over to get Hemraj back on strike. So they're looking very positive, the Jaguars batsmen.
Green balls on the wicket this time. He's pulling that high and hard with authority. A batsman who is in form. He's pulled that over mid-wicket for 6. Chandra Paul Hemraj is saying to the Jamaica bowlers, my intentions are clear out here. We're not going to be threatened in any way by the rain again. We want to win this quickly. Another good-looking boundary this time. A 6 to Chandra Paul Hemraj. The score up to 44 without loss. He moves on to 32.
6 fours and now a 6. That's 30 runs in 5 scoring shots for Hemraj. He's now on to 34, but it was a short delivery, no pace on this track. Dorval Green bowling into the wind, and Chandra Paul Hemraj latched on to him very quickly. Just 3 fielders on the onside, nobody at deep mid-wicket, and that was a safe shot. Well played.
I don't know why you would want to bowl short to such a man. That's crashed away again down to point on the boundary. There's a field out there, that's Ken Roy Williams, and that was another good shot, short and wide outside the off stump, and he went back and cracked it down to backward point, but the fielder position on the boundary saved 3 runs because he got a single. He's gone to 35. It's 45 without loss.
Well, the reason he would want to bowl short, Dorval Green, to Hemraj is because the previous delivery pitched up. I was driven for 4, so he pulled it back a bit, but got it much too closer to the bat, and Chandra Paul Hemraj just pulled. And then, of course, trying to go a short ball again outside off stump, and was taken for a single.
125 needed now. Chandra Paul is across his stumps and punches the ball out towards Palmer, the captain at cover. He doesn't score. He's kept on 10. It's 45 without loss. Just a little school of thought on that's Rutherford coming to bat at number 3. I thought maybe the Guyana camp wanted to give him an opportunity to bat for a long period.
Most definitely, because he was short of runs. The first game after coming back from international duties, he had a half century in the first innings, but after that was a string of single-digit scores, including, I think, 2 duck.
Yes, here is a ball from Green on the line of the off-stump. Chandra Paul is shuffling across, turns it into the onside, picked up by Fudderdin as the over comes to an end. 45 without loss. Continue on the Rutherford scenario.
Yeah, and also what they've done as well is the harm to give Leon Johnson reprieve. He was batting at number 3 previously, of course, short of runs as well. So with Rutherford going up at number 3, Johnson coming down at number 4, it means that he would not be facing the relatively new ball had it been maybe 2 wickets quickly. So, but it also did Leon Johnson the opportunity to come a bit later and to get some runs. And he also cashed in with a half century, which was good from the Guyana Jaguars captain standpoint, and of course from the team standpoint, because he, as the leader, a frontline batsman as well, lots were expected of him, and so far he has not delivered until this game with a decent half century.
Right, and you look at the Guyana batting down through this season so far. You've got big hundreds from Bramble. Hemraj got a big 100 as well. But I think the fact that you need someone like Johnson and Vishal Singh to get big scores. It hasn't happened so far, but you just get the impression with 3 matches remaining for the Jaguars after this game, someone has got to come good along that line in the batting department for them. So it's not that it's pressure on the top order of Hemraj. Chandra Paul also got 100. Forward comes Chandra Paul Hemraj, drives down to cover. They come through for a quick single. He moves now to 36. It's 46 without loss. Tate Chandra Paul got 100 as well. 117 not out right here. But the top order of Chandra Paul Hemraj and Tate Chandra Paul not bad at all. And then Bramble getting 200s, 2 big 100s. But you want to see a middle order as well chip in nicely. The half centuries are good, but you look at someone like Johnson and Vishal Singh, they would want to get 100s as well.
Yes, most definitely. The hundreds, they say the selectors remember hundreds more than the half centuries, even in match saving innings. So that's very good that they have been contributing. It's just that the big ones they've eluded them so far.
Right. So Taylor back to his mark. will come into bowl, I believe, for the first time to Tate Chandra Paul this morning. He settles. Here is a ball that's pitched up, and that's worked away by Tate Chandra Paul. Nice use of the wrist down through mid-wicket for runs. A chase here for the fielder from mid-on. They come back for 3 as the return comes into Owen Williams at the strikers end. 3 good-looking runs to Tate Chandra Paul. Taylor was trying for the Yorker there.
Yes, over pitching, and Chandra Paul just got into line nicely and drove it all along the ground to a wideish mid-on region. And the fielder at mid-on had to give chase, and he pulled it up just in front of the boundary ropes, and was good running from Hemraj and Chandra Paul, and they collected 3 more runs. So the intention is there, very positive from the Guyana Jaguars openers, and perhaps with the adjustments made in time, they will not be looking to carry this game too long into the day's play, looking to wrap it up as quick as possible.
And even as Taylor moves into bowl to Hemraj, we'll talk a little about the Jamaica bowling of the first innings. Nice shot again, driven down through cover. A chase here for Palmer. They've crossed the 1. They'll come back for the second. That's Chandra Paul Hemraji. Good flowing shots this morning from the Guyana opening batsman. And he's really looked good, John, this morning. He's 51 without loss. With the exception of that French cut, he's looked pretty good.
The 50 coming up, and that's a good shot indeed to bring the 50 up for the Guyana Jaguars in their second innings in their quest for 170 for an outright victory. But when the ball is pitched up just outside the off stump and Hemraj is driving, he looks beautiful. He looks very confident, very competent as well, and not bothered at all. So Taylor feeding him with some good deliveries, some half volleys, and he's actually cashing in and looking very competent as a left-handed and accomplished left-handed batsman.
Jamaica bowling in the first innings, 3 for 27 to Taylor. He snapped up the final 2 wickets at the end, of course. 2 for 43 for Powell and 3 for Bulai, 3 for 91. Here is a ball outside the off stump, loose shot from Chandra Paul Hemraj, searching for another drive to the offside, but the bounce and the little away movement really is what outdone him on that occasion. Taken by the keeper, no chance of a run. He continues to be aggressive, but on this occasion he should have been a little bit more cautious.
When Taylor pitches up, Chandra Paul Hemraj is driving him, so he just pulled it back just a little bit, and now beating the outside edge of the bat. Chandra Paul still looking for the drive outside the off stump. 2 slips and 2 gullies waiting there. So the trap is set really by Jamaica Scorpions and Jerome Taylor, and Chandra Paul Hemraj searching for that trap. Really, you never know, but he needs to be a little bit more selective in his shots.
Here was a ball on the leg stump. That driven, nice shot, 4 runs. Oh, that was lovely. Overpitched on the leg stump, and Chandra Paul Hemraj just had to ease into the drive and played it beautifully down through mid-on for 4. That was lovely to watch, 55 without loss.
He could have easily tried to go across the line, but what he did, he went through the line to a ball that was pitched on his stump. And he just looked very good, getting it to the left of the fielder at mid-on, who had a chance, but because it was hit so well, lovely timing on that shot, he got full value for it. Well played to Hemraj, and the shot selection I was speaking about, shots like that will definitely do his confidence a world of good. Not trying to be too aggressive to everything, but on that occasion, just stroking it nicely, picking up a boundary.
He's picked up 26 runs, if I'm correct, so far this morning. Chandra Paul Hemraj, he's gone to 42 in quick time, 13 to Tate Chandra Paul, 55 without loss. Taylor moves in, he's up and bowls to Chandra Paul Hemraj, who is forward. But a little stabbing defensive shot down on the onside of the pitch, picked up by the fielder down at mid-on. No chance of a run. The over comes to an end. The Jaguars resuming overnight, 25 without loss. They progressed to 55 in quick time, John. And we've got good weather here now. 55 without loss. Hemraj is 42, 13 to Tate Chandra Paul. More from you, John, than for the first time this morning would be in the Jeet.
Another good delivery to end the over from Jerome Taylor. He's bowling a mixed bag. Some outside the off stump that Chandra Paul Hemraj was driving and getting runs. Then he pulled it back and got Chandra Paul to play and miss. On the onside, he was driven down the ground for 4. And then the next delivery, just right up. And Chandra Paul Hemraj showing the full face of the bat, showing good respect and not capitalizing on that one. But Taylor working up some pace, I must say, from the media center, and Chandra Paul Hemraj, he loves the ball coming on to him. And I was saying before the match started, actually, that Chandra Paul Hemraj, will cash in on this bowling attack because of the fact that Taylor and Dorval Green will be bowling the type of deliveries that he like. He likes when the pace is coming on to him. As we see now, Dennis Bulai will be coming in from the Players Pavilion end, and I thought, with just 3 wickets in the first innings with an old ball, he will be a threat. But now with a ball that's 9 overs old, not a lot to defend, I don't think he'll be so effective. Good morning, Inderjeet.
Good morning, John. Good morning to listeners wherever you are. And this has been a very good start this morning by the Guyana Jaguars. 55 without loss, with no trouble whatsoever. I thought that the Jamaican bowling looked pretty ordinary, and the Guyanese cashed in. Bulai bowls to Tej Narayan Chandapal. He comes on the front foot, strokes it away down towards extra cover. This time there is no run. 2 slips. There is a backward point. We have an extra cover. There's a wide mid-off. And there's also cover on the boundary on the onside. We have a wide mid-on. There's also a short straight mid-wicket. Here is Bulai. He comes in, bowls to Tej Narayan Chandapal. He's stroking it away down towards extra cover. And once again, there is no run. We have seen lots of drives this morning, John. And I will tell you that the ball was pitched up on more occasion to the Guyanese batsmen offering the drive. Maybe both Dorval Green and Jerome Taylor could have just pulled back the length a little. As we watch Bulai, he comes in once again, bowls to Tej Narayan Chandapal, and Chandapal looking for the sweep shot. This was heading down the leg side. A question asked of the umpire, and surely he stands there without raising the finger. Still 55 without loss.
Well bowled from Bulai, and he can be a handful. Despite the ball is new, not a lot to defend really. Once he can land in some good areas, the Chinaman variety that he's bringing will ask some questions of the Guyana Jaguars batsmen.
Here is Chandapal. He's forced into the defensive shot this time. Plays on the offside of the pitch, and there is no run. That was nicely tossed up by Bulai.
Yes, and he knows what he has to do to pick up wickets and to get back the Jamaica Scorpions into this game. And the batsmen will just need to play him straight rather than playing the cross-batted shots.
This is short, and here is Chandapal pulling this one around, down through forward square, and Liverich comes away from the boundary. He sends the return in. Tej Narayan Chandapal gets a run, and with that single he moves on to 14. The over is completed. It's now 56 without loss. Let me remind you that play started 35 minutes late, and that was due to some rain we had just before the 10 o'clock start. Lunch will be taken at 12 hours 30. So the players, they're getting back into their positions at the moment. Guyana, very, very solid start here, and surely this is going to bother the Scorpion. Yesterday, the Scorpions, in their second innings, they were bundled out for 132. Their innings just lasted for 48.1 overs, with Reefer picking up 3 for 36, Moti 3 for 11, and Barnwell 2 for 18. Shepherd took 1, Primol took 1 as well. So it's going to be Jerome Taylor to continue from the northern end of the ground. As I say, good morning to Clyde. How are you, my brother?
Good morning to you in the Jeet, my fellow Myconian. I'm good. Good morning to listeners wherever you are as well.
Here is Jerome Taylor. He races his one once again, bowls to Chandapal, and he comes forward, plays back up the track for Taylor to field, and there is no run. Like what you have seen so far this morning, Clyde?
Well, if you're a batsman, you certainly would love what you see. I think Hemraj has opened a driving school. Well, should I say Hemraj or Jerome Taylor? has opened a driving school.
Well, Jerome Taylor presented the opportunity, and Hemraj is making full use of it.
Yeah, certainly it's been too full bowling. I don't know if Jerome Taylor is trying to see if you get the ball to swing or not. But certainly after time, you've got to pull your length back.
Yes, certainly. He hasn't done that so far. Let's see now. He comes up, bowls to the left-handed Tej Narayan Chandapal. This is a short of a length delivery, and he plays down towards short mid-wicket. There is no run.
I think that's a better length if you're going to bowl to the two openers. You need to pitch the ball a little. And then if you want to present the drive, then you present the drive hoping the ball will go a little, probably bowl it a little wider, make them look to drive and end up in slip. But certainly you can present full straight half volleys. They're going to be dispatched once the batsmen are capable, and both batsmen out there are capable batsmen.
Yes, very capable, and surely Jerome Taylor would have seen the likes of both of them, Tejnarain Chandapal and Chandapal Hemraj, especially Hemraj. He's a lovely driver of the cricket ball, and once it presents the opportunity, he's going to go after it. Here is Taylor once again. There are two slips in the gully. Comes up, bowls to Chandapal outside the line of the off stump, and this is cut away down towards square cover, footed in, races away. He collects, sends a return in. Tejnarain Chandapal gets another run. He now moves on to 15, 57 without loss. And especially, Clyde, when there is a small total that you have set the opposition, 170, you will ensure that you try your best to get the ball in the right areas. That has not been the case this morning, but so far it's good to see that Taylor having Tejnarain Chandapal on the back foot.
Yeah, I think that the last delivery as well showed what needs to be done, because I think Tejnarain Chandapal was actually looking to take his bat away, and the ball ended up hitting the bat and went out to point. The ball could have gone anyway. I think you've got to be able to bowl length, give yourself a chance, and you don't want to be leaking that many runs when you're only defending a small target.
And here is a drive, and the edge found, and the catch is taken down at gully. So it was outside the line of the off stump, and Chandapal Hemraj slashed at it, got the edge, and Brandon King took a very good catch. It went to him very quickly, and the Jaguars, they have lost their first wicket today. They're 57 for 1.
And that, in terms of the length, the line was different as well, because Jerome Taylor actually went over the wicket and slanted the ball across the left-hander. It was just slightly short of a length. It was going wider, and Hemraj went after it. It was very wide. I think Hemraj would learn over a period of time. I think when you're an opening batsman, you've got to be able to leave some of those deliveries alone. That was wide, and it was going wide, and he went after it and edged it straight to point. I think if you are an opening batsman, some of those deliveries you've got to allow them to go.
Yes, and I think that is one he should have allowed to go, because, look, you rightly called it. Taylor switched, he came round the wicket. So the thought process in the batsman's mind is that, listen, Taylor might very well want to slant this away outside the line of the off stump. And he could have very well left it alone. It was a very wide delivery, but he just went after it, and he has paid the penalty. Certainly has thrown away an excellent start. He has gone back for 42, and I'm sure he's going to be real disappointed. No devil in the pitch. You've gotten a great start, and giving it away on 42, not good enough.
Yeah, I think when he gets into the dressing room, Tejnarain Chandapal, I'm sure, would be putting an arm around him and say, young man, come on, you've got to start, you've done the hard work, you're wearing the bowlers now, you've got them where you want them. Why give away a wicket? You've got to be able to convert those innings into bigger scores. And you're going to get innings when you come out and the ball is doing all sorts, and you're going to struggle. You're going to get low scores. So when you've got the opportunity to get big scores, get them.
Yes, and I agree with you, Clyde. That's not the job of an opening batsman. He has just faced 11 overs, 29 balls he faced in that 11 overs. Smack 7 fours and 1 6, and his shots were good then. But look at it now. The job of an opening batsman, you don't want anybody to score 50 and then go off in 11 overs.
Well, if the bowlers present you with bad deliveries, of course, you put them away.
Here is Taylor, comes in, bowls a delivery outside the line of the off stump. That's Rutherford. Batting at number 3, allows the ball to go by into the gloves of the keeper. There is no run. We saw him bat at number 3 in the first innings, and he has come out to bat at number 3 in the second innings again.
Yeah, and he didn't look. The thing is, he didn't look that bad in the first innings batting at number 3. I personally don't feel at this level he's a number 3 batsman. He does open at times a club, but I don't think he is a number 3 batsman. I think he's a lower order than that. And what this has done as well, it has put your batsman who has got 200s this year, you've actually put him order down to bat.
That's Bramble.
Of course, I think it showed in the first innings how Bramble came out and batted, and he didn't have the support.
Well, let's see. He taps away at the crease. The left-handed Shorefin Rutherford. There are 2 slips and a gully, backward point, extra cover, and a wide mid-off. Taylor has gotten some success this morning. Bowls a lifting delivery, moving away from the left-handed Rutherford. Now, it has to be 2 things. One, is that you are giving the young man an opportunity. You know his batting talent to go out there and bat for a long time. Or it could very well be too that maybe nobody else wants to bat at number 3. You'll never know what happens in the Jaguars camp. But I am very surprised to see Sharfin Rutherford batting at number 3. The over is completed, 57 for the loss of 1.
There's a school of thought in some places that if you're in middle order batsman playing first class cricket and you want to play international cricket, you should be in the top 4. You should be batting number 3 and 4 for your team. Because if the best middle order batsman in the Caribbean, and we've got 6 teams, are batting 3 and 4, obviously they're going to present themselves with opportunities to score for West Indies. And we've got Leon Johnson and
Vishal Singh
batting at 4 and 5. One of them, maybe Vishal Singh, would have had to take the opportunity to bat at number 3.
Here is Bulai. He comes in, bowls to Tej Narayan Chandapal. He's driving sweetly down towards extra cover. Delivery that was given generous flight. We saw Bulai in the first innings operating from the northern end. In this innings, he's bowling from the southern end. And I think he has gotten a good start this morning to Bulai. Nice to see him tossing the ball in the air. Bowls to Chandapal. Had some spin, but Chandapal allows it to go by. Was too short for him to play. And saw the ball coming off the pitch very slowly. So Rutherford has gotten his chance to bat at number 3. He will definitely want to make use of it. This is a delivery, a good one too, right on target. And Tej Narayan Chandapal is stretching. He plays down into the offside field. And once again, there is no run.
I like the idea about Bulai bowling from the southern end. If there's any breeze blowing across the ground, you'll probably get a little bit of drift in. Then the ball would pitch and turn away from the left-handers.
Bowls to Chandapal. He's driving back up the track. Wasn't a full-blooded drive. He had to come out and reach it a little and plays back up the track for the bowler to field. There is no run. There's a solitary slip, a backward point. There's a short extra cover and a cover. Bulai comes in, bowls to Chandapal. Back he goes, opens the face, gets it out into the offside field. Footed in, comes away from point. He fields, and once again, there is no run after this over. We are just going to update our listeners what transpired in the other PCL matches across the region. This is a delivery nicely floated up. Tej Narayan Chandapal come forward. He plays down into the offside field at extra cover. There is no run. The over is completed. 57 for the loss of 1. And Bulai kept Chandapal very quiet.
Yeah, and that was a good over. Most of those deliveries, he had him coming on the front foot looking to defend. 1 or 2 he actually looked to drive. I think that's what Bulai needs to do and invite the batsman to look to drive him through the offside. He is getting the ball to turn. And he's getting a little bit of bounce as well. So that's good, and that was a good over. And the good thing about Chandrapal as well, he has looked so positive in this innings. He's looked much different than we did see him in previous innings. He's looked to hit the ball. The ball's been hitting the bat nicely.
Yes, and he's timing it well, looking very comfortable. Volcanoes, they are taking on the Hurricanes. Volcanoes, they need 231 to win. They closed yesterday at 10 without loss. You can recall they made 230 for 9 declared in their second innings. The Hurricanes 271 and 199 in that match. That's a short delivery taken on the pad. There's an appeal. They're going up. All 11 Scorpions going up. Umpire Jonathan played. Will have nothing of it. And you look at Jerome Taylor. He ran straight down to the batsman. He prostrate on the field and turned and looked at the umpire, who stood like a day when the earth would have been standing still. 57 for the loss of 1.
Well, that would have been close. I think the umpire would have had in its mind that would have pitched outside leg stump. It's a right arm ball over the wicket, and I didn't see the ball shaping back. And normally you would say when the ball shapes back, that tends to be out. But that one, to me, didn't shape back. So I think that would have pitched just outside leg stump.
Yes,
There's no doubt it was going to hit the wickets.
Yes, that's
middle
right.
stump, probably halfway up.
but where it was pitched. Here is Taylor, and he continues to bowl wrong the wicket where he got the success. Bowls outside the line of the off stump, had some pace on it, never really got up. The ball dies as it went away into the gloves of the keeper. So Clyde, Volcanoes, they are looking for 231 overnight, 10 without loss. That's going to be a good match there.
Yeah, I think that's going to definitely be a good game, and a lot would depend on the start. and the type of start that that the Volcanoes would have this morning.
Well, actually, they need 231 more to win. Their target was 241. They are 10 without loss, and they are second in the table, the Volcanoes. As we watch Taylor, sprints in, comes up, bowls to Rutherford. That's short, and Rutherford turns it off of the body. Not looking real comfortable. He gets the single, so he's on 1. It's now 58 for the loss of 1.
And the thing here now is that the length that
You're
Jerome
right,
Taylor is
Clyde.
actually bowling, you could see it causing some trouble.
Definitely.
One kept low, one bounced a little. So it is causing the batsman some trouble. I don't think they're sure whether it's going to bounce or whether it's going to stay low.
Yes, and the Pride, they're looking for 324 to win the match. They were 15 without loss against Trinidad and Tobago. That's going to be interesting. Pride, 238 in their first innings. Red Force, 358 and 247 for 6 declared, setting them a target of 324 today. They need a forward at 309 with 10 wickets standing.
I like that. That's a tantalizing score.
Yes.
I think Red Force was very brave to declare, and that's the sort of cricket that you need to see.
Taylor bowls to Chandapal, and like a rock he got behind of it. He defends down toward mid-off. There is no run.
Lots of teams would not have declared to give a team 320 runs or so to make in 90 overs plus the little time that they had yesterday.
Yes,
and I think you can be overcautious in doing that. But obviously, Red Force, they're feeling that they've got a chance of winning the game. Why not?
Yes, they're at the bottom of the table, Clyde. So I think taking everything in consideration, a good declaration regardless of what happens. Now, Taylor is going to come round the wicket to the left-handed Tej Narang Chandapal in brilliant sunshine. He comes up, bowls to Chandapal, and he's flicking this one through the onside field, through mid-wicket, and the plays after it is going to pull it back just about now, and they will come back and complete 3. Good-looking shot. He gets 3 more. Tej Narang Chandapal moves on to 18-61 for the loss of 1.
I actually like that from Jerome Taylor going around the wicket to bowl to the left-handers and bowling that same sort of length, because the odd ball is keeping low, and I think if he bowls from that side of that area, he probably just needs to have the man at cover, come over to the leg side in a mid-wicket position, maybe in a catching position as well to put some pressure on the batsman.
Yes, and in Test match cricket, the West Indies playing England in St. Lucia. We'll tell you the overnight score there. Here is Taylor, comes in, bowls to Rutherford. That's a short lifting delivery. And Rutherford was tearing down the track. Tej Narang Chandapal wasn't going anywhere. It simply means Rutherford wasn't watching Chandapal. The over comes to an end. He scampered back in the crease. 61 for the loss of 1. Rutherford is on 1. And Tej Narang Chandapal has 18. In that Test match, England 231 for the loss of 4, close of play. Josh Butler is on 67. Ben Stokes on 62. And they have lost both of the overnight batsmen early this morning. That's Butler. He was bowled by Gabriel for 67. And Ben Stokes was caught Dowridge off Roach for 79. They're 268 for the loss of 6. And just going through the bowling department, Roach 1 for 42, Gabriel 2 for 49, Joseph 1 for 58, Kimo Paul 2 for 58. Those are the wicket takers. So 270 now for the loss of 6, with Bairstow, he's on 2, and Ali on 13. So the West Indies getting 2 early wickets this morning.
And that's nice to see as well. I'm so impressed by Gabriel. Tell you what, when I saw Gabriel as an under-19 cricketer, his run-up was all over the place. And the sort of development that he has done, I think that's tremendous to see him actually being successful. And he's at number 11 in the rankings now.
Exactly.
In world cricket. I think that's tremendous. And he's a guy that has worked hard at his game. And he's got some pace.
Yeah, of course he has. Here is Bulai, bowls to Chandapal. He backs away, and there was Rutherford again, almost halfway down the track,
You think
looking for
Rutherford
the
wants to get after Bulai? He's wanting to come down to Bulai. He must be thinking, or he fancies himself against Bulai.
Well, I don't know what's going on in his mind here, Shorefin Rutherford. Here is Bulai, bowls to Chandapal, and this is nicely tossed up, making Chandapal look up. He comes down, defense, plays into the offside field. There is no run. Well, you have to get a mindset to understand your partner out there as well. There was never going to be a single. Is there a need to rush the bowling there to get a single? Not at all. Bulai comes in. Tossed up to Chandapal, and this is a lovely flowing cover drive. It's like sleeping on silk. Clyde Butts picked his shot well. 65 for the loss of one.
I hope we get invited to Mike Coney soon. We'll be sleeping on silk.
Lovely shot.
That was a lovely shot. It was a ball given general flight as well. Chandrapal didn't try and hit it too hard. He placed it beautifully, and I think that's the one criticism that we've had of Chandrapal. As commentators, where he doesn't really place the ball. He's been hitting the ball well, but he don't place it. That was beautifully placed.
Yes, well played. Here is Bulai once again. He comes in and bowls to Chandapal, and he's turning this one down towards the short forward square. And there was Rutherford again, taking some few stuttering steps. He's a busybody. Has to be careful there, Shorefin Rutherford. Here is Bulai once again. He comes up, bowls to Tejnarain Chandapal, tossed up, he's driving down towards wide mid-off on a little bit of misfield. And this time it is Rutherford who is sending back Tejnarain Chandapal. Don't run at a misfield. Amazing how one delivery can change a man. The over comes to an end, 65 for the loss of one. Tejnarain Chandapal is on 22, Rutherford has one.
Yeah, and Tejnarain Chandrapal has looked good this morning. He's defending when the ball is there to be defended, and when the ball presents itself for scoring shots, he's tried to score as well. So that's good to see, and obviously he's a young man that is growing in confidence. He's got quite a bit of runs this year. You know, when you think about it, and we have spoken about him, but when you look at the amount of runs he's got, I think he's got the most runs to Guyana. So certainly he's been doing his job. He's been chipping away. He's only got 100, but he's been chipping away. He's always there, getting a little 30, 40,
yes.
70. And so he's always there. He just needs to convert some of those scores now to bigger scores.
Yes, so Jaguars not in any real trouble, chasing down 170. They're 65 for the loss of one. And here's an open invitation, Clyde. You guys make a day. Call me. Come to my Coney. I will be your host. We'll go catch some fish and make a bush cook. And I'm sure you fellas will enjoy that.
And
make the date.
on
Let me know. Short delivery. Onto the back foot goes Rutherford and punches it down to extra cover. Didn't beat the field. The score stays on 65 for one.
That should be a nice outing, actually.
Yes,
That should
I'm
be a
looking
nice
forward for
outing,
it.
and I for one, would be there. I'm sure we'll get some goat as well.
Yes, certainly.
Andrew Mason will miss that goat.
I tell you.
Curry goat.
Two slips and a
what
gully.
What is the right word? Curry
Well,
goat or
in
goat
Guyana
curry?
we say goat curry. In Jamaica they say curry goat. I don't know. There's always a little quarrel Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago about curry chicken and chicken curry. Here is Taylor. He comes in, bowls to Rutherford, and Rutherford is driving away down towards short extra cover. Well, he was standing there and waited on the ball, and he strokes it away. Didn't get a run. 65 for the loss of one.
That's actually a good delivery, because that was not there actually for the drive, but Rutherford was playing through the line. He timed it well, but I'm sure that Jerome Taylor will be thinking, that's the length I need to bowl to him.
So this morning, overnight, the Jaguars, they were 25 without loss. Hemorrhage on 16. Tejnarain Chandapal on 9. They were still 145 away from victory. Today, Hemorrhage was caught by King of Taylor for 42. It was 57 for the loss of one. Taylor sprints in, comes in, bowls to Rutherford. That's a good delivery. He comes forward, he defends, he drops it away down towards short cover. And once again, there is no run. So we have just having the sunshine, just battling with some dark clouds hovering ahead there. No immediate threat of rain. We had some rain this morning that delayed play by 35 minutes. So we're going to have lunch at 12:30. So stations taking the broadcast, NCN. 12:30 will be lunch here at the National Stadium. So Taylor will continue. So far, Taylor has sent down 7 overs, 1 for 22. Green, 3 overs for 25. Very expensive. Williams yesterday, 1 over for 3 runs. Bulai, 3 overs for 5 runs. Here is Jerome Taylor. He starts his approach, coming round the wicket again. So he has been changing the angle. Comes up, bowls, and here is Rutherford driving away through extra cover and out towards the boundary for 4. Just a little bit rocking on the back foot, and he stroked it beautifully. He gets the boundary. He moves on to 5, 6 to 9 for 1.
That's a good looking shot from Rutherford. Jerome Taylor going over the wicket, bowling the ball just on or about off. So I'm trying to slant it across the left-hander again. Rutherford played it nicely through extra cover for 4.
Yes, so Taylor continues to bowl to the left-hander over the wicket. There are 2 slips and a gully. We have a third man almost at a backward point position on the boundary as we watch Taylor just be very well bowling short of a length to get him on that back foot. Yes, and that's short of a length and beaten outside the line of the off stump. Well, he didn't went on the back foot. He was just chipping a little bit forward there, and that delivery pass precariously close to the line of the off stump. Well bowled.
Well, I think it actually passed over the off stump because it hit and straightened nicely, but it bounced, and I think the bounce would have saved Rutherford there, because that was certainly over around middle stump, and that one you actually saw the shape where the ball actually came back at the batsman. So well bowled by Jerome Taylor again, and that's the sort of length I think when you're bowling on a 4th day of a pitch you need to bowl.
Yes, and this is what we expect of Jerome Taylor. Very experienced fast bowler. He starts his approach once again. He passes umpire blades, comes in, bowls to Rutherford. He comes forward, he opens the face, gets it out to Gully. The over is completed. Chandapal is on 22. Rutherford has 5. The Jaguars 6 to 9 for 1. More from you, Clyde. And then it's going to be the voice of Matthew Kissoon.
Yeah, not a good over from Jerome Taylor. Yes, he was hit for a 4, but I thought he was looking to angle the ball across the batsman's body. He's got 2 slip and a gully in play. But Rutherford was equal to the task and played it nicely through the covers for 4. So, and then a couple of deliveries later, he bowled an absolutely peach of a delivery. Pitch short, coming back in at the right-hander, left-hander. That was well bowled, and I think the bounce would have saved Rutherford with that delivery.
Yes, so hello to everyone again. Nice conditions for cricket now. Brilliant sunshine here at Providence. Clyde is alongside me. Clyde, this game is coming down to the wire now. 101 needed. I guess in your mind, we're going to be able to have lunch and then come out back.
Oh yes, I don't think the game will finish before lunch, one way or the other. But certainly Hemraj looked like if he wanted to finish before lunch, but I don't think it will. I think it would actually go a fair way after lunch as well.
Here is Bulai, comes up, he's in balls to that stage. Chandra Paul, he's forward and turns it into the onside, no runs. Solitary slip, there's a backward point, cover on the boundary actually, square cover. There's a short extra cover. There's a cover as well and a mid-off. So a lot of protection. That's a ill-directed delivery. Where did the bounce come from there, Clyde Butts? No one would know, but down the leg side.
Well, I think that was a changed delivery that Bulai tries to bowl. I don't think it's a googly as well. I think he tries a little finger spinner, and he hasn't controlled it at all in this game. He's tried a few, and they've all gone away.
He's bowling over the wicket from the pavilion end. That's given some air, and Chandra Paul is easing it out towards extra cover where Brandon King is, and there is no run. Then you've got a mid-on, straight mid-wicket, and a backward square on the boundary. That's leverage. Here is Bulai. They will depend on him to pick up some wickets if he can, of course. That's on the middle stump. Chandra Paul inside his stumps turns it away towards that's Chadwick Walter. No chance of a run.
Yeah, I think Bulai would be should be told that, look, just forget that delivery for now until you really get your rhythm going, and probably in another year or so you go back home and practice it a lot.
He pulled that one down on that occasion. Quicker, flatter. Chandra Paul inside his stumps and works it away to Chadwick Walton again at mid-wicket, and there is no run. 69 for the loss of 1. So 101 needed now by the Jaguars to pull off a victory here on the final day of this 7th round match for them. That's helped around the corner to the fine leg area. That will go for 4. That was again badly lined by Bulai, and with the bounce, Chandra Paul, and of course with the bad line there on that occasion, Chandra Paul just got inside his stumps and helped it around the fine leg for another boundary to take his total up now to 26. The scoreboard said it's 73 for 1. So they now need to get under 100, Clyde.
Yeah, and I had a bad delivery from Bull. And I'm wondering why would he still continue to try those deliveries. He's been bowling fairly well, bowling on about the off stump, making the batsman play, making young Chandra Paul look to drive him through the offside. And all of a sudden he tries these deliveries. And that last one was really a nothing ball really. It was wide down the leg side, going forward. And all Chandra Paul had to do was get a bat to it. And he got 4 runs for it.
Right, so the refreshment cart is on the field after the first hour. Remember, play started 35 minutes late because of rain, and that wouldn't affect in any way in terms of overs. We'll have lunch at 12:30 and come out at 10 past 1. Then we go to 3:10 for tea, and then resume at 3:30 up to 5:35 this afternoon. But of course, that's all the mathematics being worked out. The game not expected to go that long, Clyde. But it's good to see good conditions now for cricket.
It will depend on the weather as well, because there is a little bit of rain around. I was in Georgetown earlier this morning because we've got Guyana versus DCC in an under 19 game. So I went to see my boys start the game. They didn't start. As I was leaving, they were just about to spin the toss. So because there was some rain again this morning in Georgetown around 9:30 or thereabouts. So that game will start. So there is a little bit of rain around. I don't think it will actually affect this game much.
Yes, so the refreshment cart is on the field. So let's tell you what happened overnight. The Jaguars 25 without loss, needing 170 to win. Hemraj 16 and Tej Chandra Paul on 9. At that stage, 4 overs were bowled and they still needed 145 to win. Well, play started today, 35 minutes late because of course, they had a heavy downpour in the wee hours of the morning, because I was between sleep and wake when I heard that, and I said I'm hoping that in no way would it affect the game. But even though we lost the 35 minutes, as long as rain stops here, Clyde, you get cricket very quickly here at Providence.
Of course you do. I was out this morning about around 5:36, and the way how the rain set up, I was very concerned that we were going to get a day of no play, because it really looked like if we were going to get a lot of rain this morning.
Yes,
but
certainly.
We didn't.
Right, so we started 10:35 and we saw some lovely shots from Hemraj. Chandra Paul chipped in as well, played a couple of nice shots, but it was Hemraj who was on the go. He had put the foot on the accelerator a bit more heavier, and after getting to 42, he was caught by Brandon King at gully of the bowling of Taylor for 42, 7 fours, 1 6, 29 balls, 57 for the loss of 1 in the 11th over. And since then, Rutherford has come out at number 3, batted at number 3 in the first innings when he got 31. So he's there, he's 5 not out. 26 to Tej Chandra Paul, who played some nice shots, a beautiful cover drive off of Bulai, and he's 26 not out. Some 15 overs have been bowled in the Guyana Jaguar second inning so far, 73 for the loss of 1. In fact, 16 overs bowled, just losing Hemraj, who I thought played well, but that's the thing about Chandra Paul Hemraj, that he has to be very mindful of opening the batting for Guyana. You get into the 40s, you look pretty good, just that one little sneaky, streaky shot down to fine leg, French cut for 4 off of Taylor. But he played good otherwise, played some lovely flowing drives through the offside, and then a lovely straight drive to Taylor down the ground. He looked really good and positive indeed. But then John, who's back now with me, John, he gave his wicket away.
Yes, I think he was trying to go for one shot too many, really, and he was committed. His blood was running hot. He was committed to the drive, and Taylor outfoxed him, got him to edge to Brandon King, who was standing there at a wide third slip, really, in more bordering on a gully. That was a good catch as well from Brandon King. But I think the damage has been done really by Chandra Paul Hemraj. He was very aggressive in setting up the pace of this run chase. And because of that, now Chandra Paul, who's looking very good as well, and Rutherford, they can continue with that pace really, and to see the Guyana Jaguars safely to an outright victory against the Jamaica Scorpions. Scorpions will be looking for wickets, trying to create half chances as well, to get as many opportunities as possible for wickets. This could still be a very competitive passage of play heading to lunch.
So what's the equation, John? 97 the Jaguars need, and Jamaica need 9 wickets.
Yeah, that's correct. And I know Clyde Butts was speaking about his club, Guyana, against DCC under 19, but this is his second division team lost yesterday to Everest, my team.
Well, look at that. He's bowling! Oh, first delivery from Darvel Green. Switched to the commentary box, and he started this morning from the far end and switched to the commentary box, and Rutherford was standing up inside his crease and looking to pull that through mid-wicket. Missed completely and comprehensively bowled. Well, he should not have played a shot like that, young Sharpin Rutherford. He's gone, bowled for 5. It's 73 for the loss of 2 now, and the Jamaica Scorpions need to pick up 8 wickets.
Looking to go for a lofted drive over the onside to a ball that was pitched up on the line of middle stump, lost his middle stump, and I think he lost his head before losing his middle stump really. Rutherford there, bad shot. What he should have been doing is driving or defending even straight, but he tried to go across, batted shot across the line and lost shape and lost his stump. So the Guyana Jaguars now losing their second wicket this morning, but it was a very good delivery, pitched right up from Darvel Green, like you said, switched around. And I said since yesterday that the seamers, they were getting much more assistance from the media center end, so the fancy bowling from the media center end as opposed to the players pavilion end, and that was well bowled by Darvel Green.
It is a good move from Palmer to bring Green from this end now, because as you rightly said, John, the fast bowlers are bowling well from this end actually. Bulai is bowling from the far end or the pavilion end. 73 for 2 now, 97 needed. But sometimes, John, it's when shots like these are played that you put your team under pressure, even though Vishal Singh has come out now to join forces. Oh, Johnson, in fact, the captain, to join forces with Tej Chandra Paul. Here is where sometimes when you play such shots, you really put your team under a lot of pressure. And even though 97 is needed, the Jaguars wouldn't want to lose much more wickets here.
Rutherford never looked settled this morning. He had one good cover drive against Taylor, but other than that, he just was scratching a bit. And even running with Chandra Paul, he just seemed to want to get on with things. So that was a get on with things kind of shot, and it was actually a get out shot from him. Now that he is gone, but I think what he should have been advised to do was try to get in, bat for the rest of the run chase, and come not out. And that would have done his confidence a world of good heading to the next game, the return clash in Jamaica next week.
And it's the basics of cricket. You've got to stick to the basics as a bowler. Good line, good length. Here is Johnson, takes his first delivery on the middle stump, and he's across and plays it into the onside, no run. 58 in the first innings to Leon Johnson. I'm sure that the captain would want to remain there at the end of this match when the Jaguars, hopefully from a Guyana standpoint, go on to win this game. As the captain, he would want to remain there. Tej Chandra Paul, on the other hand, always steady. The Rock of Gibraltar, he's been a good find for Guyana opening at the top. Many have criticized him for the way he plays his innings so many times. A lot of balls, but yet the runs are few. But nothing is wrong with maybe initially playing like that. What he's got to do is to work the ball into the gaps and pick up the singles. Here is Johnson, gets a full-length delivery on the off stump. He's forward defensive, plays down on the onside of the pitch. No chance of a run.
And he has been doing that this innings, young Chandra Paul. He looked very positive, getting not only the singles more frequently, but also getting the boundaries. So rather than finding the feelers, he's actually finding the gaps in this game and in this innings especially, and he looks very dependable indeed.
Look, I have no problem with Tej Chandra Paul at all. I think he's got the mindset to be a true opener, and that's what you need. You need an opener to come and bat long. You've got to frustrate the ball inside. You've got to weary them down. And even if you take 100 balls to get 10 runs, well, you would have done the job by wearing them down. That's outside the off stump taken by the keeper, no run. And of course, that ball becomes softer. It gets older. So you've got to do that because you're creating opportunities now for your other batsmen down the order to come and perform well. And it makes it a little bit easier for them. as long as they're willing to bat long as well. So I have no problems with Tage at all in the way he approaches his innings. That's what you need. He wants to stay there for long periods, and that's what you need from openers. 73 for the loss of 2. He's 26. And Johnson yet to score. So Johnson is on strike. Some quick bowling figures for you for the Jamaica Scorpions. Bulai 4 overs for 9. Taylor 8 overs 1 for 36. Here is Green comes up. He's in. Bowls to Johnson. Johnson is dabbing at that down on the offside of the pitch, bouncing away for Brandon King to pick up no run. Dorval Green in his 4th over. He's picked up a 1 for 25. Just removing Rutherford, bowled all over the place, looking for a big heave over the mid-wicket area. And Ken Roy Williams 1 over for 3 runs. So that's the bowling figures for you. No extras, so they've kept it good. They've been good in terms of controlling the situation out there, the bowlers for you. And 73 for 2 now. So 97 needed to win this game. And Jamaica would tell themselves they picked up 2 wickets this morning. They need 8 strikes. Here is Green. That's down the leg side. And that would have missed Orrin Williams, the wicketkeeper, down to the boundary for 4 byes. So the Guyana Jaguars will take those runs, John Ramsing, and reduce that total now to 93. They need to win this game on the final day. Badly lined on that occasion. Don't know if that ball must have slipped out of his hand, but extras now extras are being created here now, 4. So the first extras coming up in the Jaguars inning. It's 77 for the loss of 2.
Yeah, bad bowling from Dorval Green on that occasion. Johnson just got to the crease, so he should have been better advised, Dorval Green, to get him more deliveries to threaten the stumps of Leon Johnson. But on that occasion, going wide of the leg stump and the keeper diving over the ball and allowing 4 byes, releasing some amount of pressure, if any at all, on the Guyana Jaguars skipper. But Johnson, who had a half century in the first innings, will not be too disturbed by that one, because the pitch is not that of a dangerous track. He's been playing very well. The odd ball is keeping a bit low, but other than that, it's a true Providence track. So he's accustomed to this kind of conditions. And he'll want to be a good partner to Chanapal to get as close as possible to that 170 needed for the Jaguars' victory.
So Bulai continues from the far end, and that's down the leg side, swept around the corner by Chandrapal. They're looking for 2, but the return from Blackwood is quick. Blackwood, known for his sprinting exploits before playing cricket. Good cricketer, good athlete actually. Always a busybody. And they get 1. So Chandrapal moves to 27. Johnson comes into strike at 78 for the loss of 2 in over number 18, I believe. Is it? 18 it should be.
So Bulai started a delivery wide outside the leg stump of Chandrapal. And it was full delivery, so he went down and brought out a broom. So sweeping and get a single. He could have gotten more, but the difference on that occasion was Jermaine Blackwood sprinting away from first slip, halfway to the boundary at fine leg, and limited the batsman to a single.
Slip on the backward point. There's a square cover on the boundary. There's a cover and an extra cover. Chandrapal. In fact, Johnson's across his stumps and pushes it out towards Brandon King at the extra cover. And there is no run. There's a mid-off deep. Then mid-on, short mid-wicket, and the backward square on the boundary. Leverage is down there. Here is Bulai. Comes up, he's in, bowls to Johnson. He lets it go outside the off stump taken by Orrin Williams. And again, no chance of a run. Hello to everyone right across Guyana. And Jamaica, of course, the land of wood and water. A lovely country to visit, Jamaica. Here is Bulai, comes up, he's in, bowls. Johnson is driving in the air and just out of the reach of the fielder at cover deep. And that wasn't a good shot from Johnson at all, coming forward and driving in the air. He picks up a single, John, 79 for the loss of 2, not in control at all.
Johnson is a much better batsman than that. And it's a release shot, but there's no need to release the pressure just yet. Just got into the wicket, tried to get a feel of what Bulai is doing, flighting the delivery and forcing Johnson into the drive. And he went for it, but got it in the air rather than along the ground, and almost gave Palmer a catch at extra cover.
Here is Bulai. He's up, bowls on the middle stump. Chandrapal is right inside of his stumps and is playing defensively into the offside. No run, 79 for the loss of 2. So Johnson won 27 to Tage Chandrapal, who settles. Bulai comes up, he's in balls, he pulls that one down, quicker flat on Chandrapal onto it in a flash and swept it around towards backward square, leverages out there, he gets a run as he overcomes to near, and he moves to 28, it's 80 for the loss of 2.
The last ball down the leg side by to Chandrapal from Bulai, and Chandrapal looking to hit it too hard, and eventually he got it away, but just for a single. But had he made better connection, he perhaps would have gotten a boundary. He got his just one feeler in leverage, use on backward square, and had he gotten connection, it perhaps would have gone forward of square, and he would have gotten a boundary. But in the end, he survives, and the Guyana Jaguars continued to work away towards that 170 needed. But Bulai, I think that over in which he got Johnson to play a rash shot, he will be very happy with that. He'll be looking to get to Johnson again in the next over.
Right, and John, we'll continue with your stint with me on highlights of the match so far. We were looking at the Jamaica bowling first innings. Taylor picked up 3 for 27, Powell 2 for 43, and Bulai 3 for 91. A little bit expensive, but remember the Jaguars scored 321. Blackwood got 1 for 9. Your thoughts in a minute on the way the Jamaica bowlers worked away the Guyana Jaguars in their first innings. Here is Green comes up, bowls to Chandrapal. He's forward defensive, plays down to mid-on, no run.
I think Jerome Taylor, despite struggling a little bit, maybe a niggle, bowled very well. In the short spelly opening burst that he had, and he got the wicket of Chandrapal. I think that was a very good spell from him. And what happened as well in that spell, despite just one wicket, he also roughed up the other batsmen, including Hemraj. Hemraj, who was dismissed by Green, was also roughed up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that opening spell from Jerome Taylor really did well. Then he came back to clean up the Guyana Jaguars' tail. That was very good bowling from him. But Bulai, we expect that he will get some purchase from this track, and he bowled well.
Chandrapal settles and gets the ball on the middle stump. Good delivery, one that kept a trifle bit low. And he came into stumps and turned it away towards forward square. No chance of a run. He'll stifle the appeal from those in the slip cordon and gully. 80 for the loss of 2. Beautiful delivery from Dorval Green.
Yeah, with bat and pad there, and perhaps had definitely pitching outside leg as well from Green, bowling over the wicket to the left-handed Chandrapal. So half-hearted appeal really. But Green, who's bowling right now, he bowled very well in the first innings as well. He was actually consistently asking questions of the Guyana Jaguars batsmen on a nagging line outside the off stump, just maybe fifth stump really. And he was bowling very well, within his limitation, of course.
Here is Green. He comes up, he's in bowls to Chandrapal. He gets a delivery short of a length. He's onto the back foot and punches it out towards Palmer down at cover. No run. But I guess the disappointment would have been Kenroy Williams, who bowled 28 overs, 9 maidens, none for 70. He didn't really penetrate. He was more or less flat, just ordinary, as many would say, but he didn't really threaten the Guyana Jaguars batsmen. But Powell picked up 2 for 43 in that first innings, and Bulai 3 for 91. He bowled well. He didn't turn the ball as much as you would have expected when he started his spell. Here was a ball, loose shot from Chandrapal, looking to flash it away through the offside, maybe down behind point. Came across, missed the shot. A little bit of movement for Green on that occasion, taken by the keeper. No chance of a run. He's kept on 28. It's 80 for the loss of 2. But as I was saying, John Kenroy Williams, not impressing. 28 overs, none for 70. Walton bowled 9 overs for 25 runs, a little part-time leg break bowler. But Bulai picking up 3 for 91. When he started his spell, he wasn't turning the ball that much, but when he came back, he got a bit more bounce and turn yesterday. And so he bowled pretty well for Jamaica as well in the first innings. Here is a ball that's edged away, squared up Chandrapal between second slip and gully down to the boundary for 4. So Dorval Green has done well last 2 deliveries to Tej Chandrapal, testing him well. And in the end, Chandrapal was able to, he got into square arm position. There was a good delivery, pitched on the leg stump, moving away from the left-hander, squared him up, got the edge, went between gully and gully and second slip down to the boundary.
The previous delivery, Chandrapal did well to get out of the way, but Green came back again, bowling pretty much the same line and length. This time Chandrapal was committed to the drive, and he just fended at it and got it between gully and second slip. because of the pace of the track as well, it did not carry. But Chandapal living dangerous. Well bowled, Dorval Green.
Right, so 86 the target now. They've erased 84 from that 170. So 86 they need to win this game. And the Scorpions need 8 wickets. Which one is more difficult, John?
8 wickets.
For sure. If they had to get 350, well, maybe the 350 would have been more difficult. Here is a ball that forces Chandrapal onto the front foot, forward then back, and steers it out towards cover. The over comes to an end. Good over from Dorval Green, testing the Guyana opening batsman. 84 for the loss of 2. He's 32. 1 to Johnson with 4 extras and 18 overs being completed. 84 for the loss of 2. Let's hear some more from John as we assess this game so far.
Dorval Green is going to try to get Chanapal outside that off stump, bowling very well, testing him in that corridor of uncertainty. Last delivery, Chanapal back on across and played it in the accomplished manner. And before that, he was playing an edge and playing a missing. But you mentioned 8 wickets or 86 runs. These guys are professionals. They're trained for this. Sometimes the smallest total, the smallest run chase can give you some jitters. But with the start they got from Hemraj and Chandapal, they have set up the Guyana Jaguars nicely. Despite losing Hemraj for 42 and Rutherford for 5, they're on course really. No, the Jamaicans, because they've been bowling so far, not necessarily consistent line of length, but they've been trying.
Here is Bulai, bowls to Johnson. He's driving down through cover. Picked up a single. That's Palmer coming across his right to pick up. One more to Johnson. He's gone to 85 now for the loss of 2. So they're at the halfway mark. So 85 needed. 85 for 2 now in over number 19. Bulai bowling now to Tej Chandrapal. So you've got a slip backward point. Then you've got a cover point on the boundary. There's a cover, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket, and the backward square on the boundary for Tej Chandrapal. Then it's Bulai, the left-hand Chinaman bowler, is bowling over the wicket to Tej Chandrapal. He's driving, nice shot, but down to mid-off. Picked up there, and there is no run. 85 for the loss of 2. Hemraj went for 42, Rutherford for 5. You look at the Jamaica second innings, and I remember Clyde saying that the Jaguars would have to bowl them out cheaply in the second innings, and they did just that. Here is a ball that he pads up to outside the off stump, taken by the keeper, no run. Clyde Butts is a very good judge of this game, isn't he?
Excellent, and we all learning from him as well. And I'll tell you what he said to me, just whispering after this delivery.
Here is Bulai, comes up, he's in bowls to Chandrapal. He gets the ball that's pitched on the leg stump. Coming into him, he works it away down to long leg. That's leverage coming around from backward square to pick up one more to Chandrapal. He's 33 now. He's 86 for the loss of 2.
I was making a point that the Jamaica Scorpions bowling attack don't look so potent in this small defense of 170 because of what they have on the field. And also he mentioned to me that Jerome Taylor, since his spell has gone off.
Here is Bulai balls. That's a full toss and put away. That's gone for 6, I believe. Let's wait for the signal. 6. Says Joel Wilson. Put away over wide long arm. He picked that up well. And that must have slipped out of the hand of Bulai as a total move up to 90 now for the loss of 2.
Yeah, Johnson walking into that shot and greeting him on the full toss and got the maximum for it. Safe shot. No feeler at long on. No feeler deep mid wicket. And Johnson just going all out for that one. But what Butsy was saying as well is that despite Taylor off the field, they were missing his services. Leverage is on the field all day, because Rovman Powell did not take the field this morning.
Here is a ball on the leg stump, turned away by Johnson towards backward square. He picks up one more run to take his total up now to 9. And the Jaguars inching closer to 193 for the loss of 2 at the end of the over. Yes, and we noticed that yesterday actually, with leverage being on the field actually whole day, well, for a long period of time. And with Taylor off, you just get the impression that maybe he's probably not going to have another spell.
Yeah, the Scorpions further depleted. But Johnson, looking to the heavens and realized that some dark clouds are hovering once again, decided that he's going to step on the gas and went down the track to Bulai and greeted him and lofted him over the ropes for a 6. So that's good intent from Leon Johnson. It's now 34 minutes approximately to lunch. So Johnson and Chandrapal will be looking to see how much they can get in those 34 minutes. At the moment, they're 92 for the loss of 2, still 78 runs away from victory. So they'll need to be positive, pick up whatever they can, because the weather could be a factor in this game.
Mhm. Right, let's look at the Jamaica second innings, 132 all out. Just Blackwood getting 24, Walton 22. Fullerton got 24, gave his wicket away again, as he did in the first innings. He really should have been the one to stay there. Here is Green bowls on the middle stump. Johnson's forward plays defensively into the offside, no run. But let's not take anything away from the Guyana bowling, with Reefer picking up 3 for 36. Barnwell 2 for 18, who I thought bowled very well. And Moti chipping in nicely with 3 for 11. Pamal 1 for 12. So a good all-round performance from the Guyana bowlers. And they stuck to their task and they were able to skittle out Jamaica cheaply in their second innings.
If the Guyana Jaguars wanted to win this game, they had to come back good in that second innings when the Scorpions were batting. And they did just that. After the early wicket of Orion Williams, there was a partnership between Blackwood and Walton. And after that partnership, it was all over really.
Here is a ball that Johnson, I guess, in two minds. Good delivery, a little bounce and pace from Dorval Green. And Johnson, a little bit in two minds. They're looking to play and then giving the impression that he was pulling the bat inside the line. I thought he was beaten. It's 93 for the loss of 2.
Yeah, so what Johnson did as well, he rotated his bowlers, did not allow them to settle in, did not allow the batsmen to have a good look at them for too long. He rotated the bowlers nicely. Shepherd started, Reefer started as well, and when Blackwood took a liking to Reefer, he took him off, brought Barnwell got a breakthrough, and from then on he started to rotate the bowlers and then got the spinners into the action, and the rest was history really.
Green bowls outside the off stump, a little bit of a fuller length on that occasion, but too wide for Johnson to play a shot as he's kept on 9:33 to Tej Chandrapal, 93 for the loss of 2.
And as a result of that, Fullerton tried to bat himself into some form, tried to bat the Guyana Jaguars out, but he got a good delivery as well, played in the air, and Reefer at that time was in a very good spell, and they continued to pick up wickets at regular intervals, and before you know it, 132 all out.
Of course, Blackwood was looking well before Barnwell bowled him for 24. I thought that was a crucial wicket to get. Johnson looking to pull through mid-wicket. The ball strikes him on the hip area. He doesn't get a run. Looking to pull that short down the leg side, and the scores kept on 93 for 2. But when Blackwood went bowled by Barnwell for 24, I thought that was a good wicket to get because Blackwood always looks positive and he was playing good.
Yeah, he was definitely key because he was getting the ball in the middle of the bat, getting into the boundaries at regular, and with Chadwick Walton, they looked very dangerous indeed. And if the Guyana Jaguars did not break that partnership, I think this game would not have been set up the way it is today, because they were looking to take it away from the Guyana Jaguars.
Right, so we'll have a little hold up. I think umpire Blades is calling for the ground staff, someone to come on to maybe do a little bit of repair work, to the foothold. The bowler's foothold mark there when he jumps to deliver, when that front foot hits the pitch. And sometimes that can be a situation that you've got to be very careful about, especially when you've got the type of wet in between, because it can get soft and present a problem to the bowler, especially, of course, the fast bowlers. It can prove to be a bit dangerous. You don't want to injure yourself in any way. You don't want to get any injury to the ankle. And Dorval Green very concerned about that because he's bowling from this end. So a little bit of repair work being done now. So a little bit of a hold up, John.
So Matthew, what we can do, we can take some time to go across to St. Lucia, because it's very interesting what happened since this morning. England 277 all out. Last we heard when Inderjeet was on, they were just about 260 for a loss of 6. And since then, they've lost the low order. The last 5 wickets, in fact, going down for just 21 runs. So what happened? They moved from 256 for 5 to 277 all out. And the architect of destruction on that occasion would have been Kemar Roach. 4 for 48 from just 25.5 overs, supported nicely by Gabriel, 2 for 49, Alzari Joseph, 2 for 61, and Kemo Paul, 2 for 58. So the Windies now, they're having a bat, and they're 2 without loss. England collapsed, 277 all out.
surprising to you? I don't. I don't think that's surprise. That's
Well,
surprising at
yesterday
all.
when Kimo Paul, Shannon Gabriel, and Alzari got the wickets, we said that the roach is still in the cupboard waiting to come out.
Yes,
He came out
I
this morning.
I remember you said that. That's outside the off stump, taken by the keeper. Dorval Green continue now. Would feel a bit more comfortable with that foothold being repaired. And it's got to be strong enough to take the weight of the fast bowlers. So we've lost the sunshine. Well, there's no sunshine now. Dark clouds actually looming over Providence.
For a
And,
moment,
and you just get the impression there's a little bit of a threat of rain here, but we'll have to wait and see. We don't want to call rain, of course. The Jaguars won't want me to say that. Dorval Green back to his mark, comes in now to bowl to the Guyana Jaguars. Captain Johnson is onto the back foot, forces it out towards, that's Palmer. The captain down at cover. The over finally comes to an end. 93 for the loss of 2. Jama getting back to St. Lucia. Very interesting situation there because, as you rightly said, Roach didn't pick up early wickets. And I was saying to myself, when will he get into the thick of things? Well, he's done so and he's picked up 4. That's so nice. I don't think people will be surprised with that collapse. Only the English, of course.
Yeah.
Because if you look at how West Indies have played in the previous 2 tests, the fast bowlers have done the work and they've done it again in this first innings for England.
yes, that's a very good comeback from the West Indies on that occasion. It was just a matter of time, like you said. Those bowlers, they're pumped up, they're fired up, they're in good form as well. And I like the fact that Kimo Paul, who's given the opportunity in place of Jason Holder, and right away landed in some good areas and did his part, I must say. And I think Jason Holder and the rest of selectors and the rest of the West Indies public as well will be happy that Kimo Paul came and right away announced his presence, because it could have gone the other way. Kimo went for some stick,
Right.
and then you would have heard this, of course, the old banter that they should have played O'Shane or they should have not have gone with Kimo. But Kimo played his part, and as a result, the Windies, they're right back into this one, and they're continuing to quest for 3-0.
Well, they didn't follow in the footsteps of England when they missed a trick with Stuart Broad in the first test. They didn't miss a trick there at all. Kimo Paul came in as the man to replace Jason Holder, and they've played him, and he's done well. He picked up the very first wicket with his first ball, and then he got another wicket, of course. So he's chipped in nicely, and no doubt he'll be looking to bat good as well for the West Indies. We're not having play right now. I don't know. There's a bit of a delay here. I think Walton is going to come in to bowl. Let's
Kenroy
watch.
Williams.
Williams, in fact. Let's watch what is happening. A little bit of shuffling across with the field.
Yeah.
Right, that's correct. And it depends on what the reason is for the fielder going off. You can't have a sub. So we'll get some more on that for you as we watch Williams bowling around the wicket to Johnson. Johnson is, in fact, yes, he's forward. Plays into the offside. Tate Chandrapal, no run. He's kept on 33. 90 Johnson, 93 for the loss of 2. So we're in over number, 22, I believe. Here is a ball that Chandrapal is opening the face, steering it out towards backward point. Footed in, comes around to pick up no run. Hazy conditions now, John. Let's watch the clouds above.
Interesting passage of play as well, because it's a 5-3 field, which means 1 off. And like Butsy said from behind the commentary box, that the Jamaica Scorpions are not allowed a substitute on right now for whatever reason. And seeing one of their players in front of the dressing room, perhaps waiting to come on. Not sure what's happening.
Play down to mid-on. Next delivery, play down towards extra cover by Tate Chandrapal, no run. But sometimes this is what happens in longer version cricket. Umpires have got to stay alive. They've got to stay awake. And 10 fielders on now. So that man will probably come out at the end of the over. Here is a ball that's pitched on the off stump from Kenroy Williams. Tate Chandrapal is looking for the drive, hard into the ground, bouncing up towards Palmer, extra cover. He's kept on 33, 93 for the loss of 2. So the Jaguars inching closer to a 5th victory this season. So wrapped on the pad, loud appeal, he's out, leg before. So Kenroy Williams finally gets a wicket in this match, picking up the man who's been out there for a while, Tej Chandapal, he's gone. A leg before wicket to the bowling of Kenroy Williams for 33. Jamaica have struck. They've picked up their third wicket. 93 for the loss of 3. John Ramsing.
Yeah, so Chanda Paul there just half forward and was hit in front of the stump, and the result is he's sent on his way. It was a straight delivery once again from Kenroy Williams, not getting a lot of turn on this pitch, and as a result of that, Chanda Paul, who's half forward, struck in front, sent on his way for 33. He is there for quite some time, 5 fours in his innings, 70 odd balls, and he looked very good this morning, but was a straight delivery once again. No turn from Williams that got him. It's a good wicket for the Jamaica Scorpions to get, just as we had, maybe just under half an hour to lunch. It's a good blow. Maybe can send some panic into the Guyana Jaguars batting lineup.
And that's why when you look at some of the shots played by the earlier batsmen, Hemraj going for one too many shots, caught a lovely catch by Brandon King down at gully, 42, a good knock, but didn't go on. Rutherford looking for a big heave over through the mid-wicket region, missed the shot, comprehensively bowled by Green for 5, and now Tej Chandrapal, a little bit tentative to the off spinner, being struck plumb in front. 33 he made, 93 for the loss of 3. Clyde Butts rejoined me. Clyde, good morning. Or good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Yes, very interesting situation in that last over as well, where the umpire did not allow a sub. But we see Jerome Taylor's now come onto the field, so it was obvious. And you would know this as an umpire and somebody who is doing the rules of the game. They hardly allow you any sort of comfort break these days.
That's right. Here is Green Bowles on the leg stump, moving across Johnson. He's into line and pushed it into the offside.
You have to have a reasons to be off the field.
Yes.
Especially for a certain amount of time. And I think that Jerome Taylor back on the field, it's a plus for the Jamaicans as well, because you never know in this game what can happen. Another 2 wickets could fall, and then Jerome maybe needed to bowl. I give them a spell, and you could nip a wicket or 2 as well. So there's still some time left in this game to go.
Yes, the game has tightened up a lot now in terms of the rules and regulations. That's turned away, flicked away down towards backward square by Johnson, just bowling on the leg stump, going further away from Johnson. He was able to flick that for 1. He moves into double figures. He's gone to 10 now. Vishal Singh comes out to do battle. He got a well-played 61 in the first inning. It's 94 for the loss of 3. But the game, a lot has certainly tightened up with this game of cricket now, Clyde. And it's for many good reasons, because a lot of cricketers can try to play a bit smart in between, matches, the games, and given the situation of the game, they can tend to come up with a lot of stuff that is not pleasing for cricket at all. And you've got to have valid reasons for going off the field. And if you're going to go for a comfort break, and I know now that no sub is really allowed just for a simple comfort break. Here is Green, comes up, he's in bowls to Singh, who takes his first ball and doesn't have to play. Taken by the keeper, not that cleanly, Owen Williams again. The man who didn't keep that tidily in the first innings. When the Jaguars were batting, 94 for the loss of 3. And so, Clyde, that's the situation with these players. They've got to be very mindful of the regulations, the amendments to the laws of the game, and know that you don't want to put your team under pressure whereby you go off the field and you've got just 10 men out there.
Yeah, that would not have been nice. And I'm sure, that those little things you've got to start correcting, and the management has got to be on the ball as well where those things are concerned.
Yes, and they always take their little notes when these things happen. Here is a ball that's good delivery just outside the off stump, and Vishal Singh picked up the line well, allows it to go by, to be taken by the keeper, no run.
Yeah, that was a nice looking delivery, just on or about the off stump, slanting across the batsman, inviting him to look to play through the offside. He's got 2 step on a gully waiting, and he's got a man at a point boundary, so that man would cover it just in case it misses. So that's good bowling. And with some 20-25 minutes to go before lunch, if the Jamaican Scorpions may be thinking, if we can just get another wicket and not let too many runs go, this game could still have a close finish.
The Jaguars need 76 to win this game. Forward comes Vishal Singh plays it back to Derval Green, who sent back a sharp return, but he didn't hit the stumps at all. Backed up nicely by it's Blackwood, I think. And he's kept on, not 10 to Leon Johnson, 94 for the loss of 3 over number 23 in progress.
I like this fella, Dorman Greaves. He shows a lot of attitude towards the game. He shows that he wants to be out there. He wants to play cricket. He always running in and bowling, and obviously he's a late developer. And, you know, he's a man that you would love to have in your team.
Yes, he's certainly a good player, and he's done some good work for Jamaica over the years. He tries once more, passes umpire blades and bowls a bumper to Vishal Singh. That's a good delivery, actually, but Singh, being such a short man, that would not have affected him at all. He didn't even have to duck that much. The over comes to Nen, 94 for the loss of 3. More from Clyde, and then to take us through to lunch on the final day of this enthralling battle is Inderjeet.
He's not buying us lunch anymore, eh? Yeah, that was I find I thought it was too short, a little too short for Vishal Singh, because he's a short one already. I think when you bowl into Vishal Singh, you just need to back pitch the deliveries a little instead of trying and banging it into the turf. But I have no problem with bowling Vishal Singh a few short balls. I remember 2 years ago, Barbados played here, and they bowled him quite a few short balls, and I think he was caught at a leg slip position. So I have no problem with him getting a few short balls, and that's part and parts of your strategy when you bowl into every batsman. You try and think them out, and you try and work them out as well.
Yes, certainly you're right, Clyde, and it makes the batsman think as well. So it's going to be Kenroy Williams. He will continue, right arm off spinner, and he moves in now to bowl to Leon Johnson. Johnson is coming forward. He's on driving down towards mid-on fielder, just overshadowing the ball, allows it to go away down towards wide mid-on. The score stays on 94 for the loss of 3. So the Jaguars, they have picked up 3 wickets this morning, and no doubt making a match of this one. Williams bowls to Johnson, short and cutaway, beats backward point. Cover comes in, will collect about now, rockets the left-handed return in, but they had the 2 covered. 2 good-looking runs to Leon Johnson. He now moves on to 13. It's on to 96 for the loss of 3.
Well, that was a rank long hop. Leon Johnson, it actually was so wide that Leon Johnson hit it with the bottom of his bat. It was so wide. As an off spinner, that's not expected. I don't think an off spinner is an orthodox bowler. He tends to be very tight. He may bowl a few full deliveries, but not a long hop like that.
Here is a delivery outside the line of the off stump, and there was Johnson looking to play the cut shot. He pulled out of the cut shot, realizing the ball was pretty low, and he allows it to go by into the keeper, Williams, and he had to go down very low to block that one as well. Here is Kenroy Williams to bowl to Leon Johnson. He comes forward, reaches the delivery, and then strokes it away down towards wide mid-off. There is no run,
and
96
maybe this
for the
is a
loss of 3.
question I'll have to put to Robert Haynes and Andrew Richardson.
Here is Williams. He comes in, bowls to Johnson, gets a good delivery, plays it out into the offside field. Let's hear that, Clyde.
There's a young fella from Jamaica that's in the Guyana Jaguars setup, an off spinner by the name of Ramal Lewis, who I think is a very good cricketer. And I'm looking at Kenroy Williams bowling, and I'm thinking, well, something has got to be wrong for Kenroy Williams to be playing in front of Ramal Lewis, who's in Guyana, sitting down.
This is played out into the offside field. There is no run. The over is completed. 96 for the loss of 3. 13 is Leon Johnson. Vishal Singh yet to score. They had to purchase these players to play in the franchise tournament. So it has to do with how it went. There were certain players who were retained. I want to believe Ramal Lewis is one of those players who were retained by the Jaguars.
I don't think he was.
I
think he would have been one of those bought players. Well, he was here, so obviously they would have kept him. But just looking at the situation, I don't think you can say Kenroy Williams is a better bowler than Ramal Williams, or a better fielder either. And Ramal Williams is a capable batsman as well.
Was it the case where
So
the
you wonder-
Jaguars had the first opportunity to purchase and they purchased
Well,
him?
Maybe. Well,
Right.
It could have been retained by Jamaica
But
as
the,
well.
the point that you're making is very, very valid indeed. And that's a delivery, is an appeal. What has gone wrong there?
I think it was a short delivery. It
Yes.
bounced and it hit him on his thigh pad or just above the thigh pad. But that's the sort of length you would love to see him bowl to Vishal Singh, and hope one of those deliveries get up a little higher than that. See how he would handle it.
Yes, that was a very good delivery. The score stays on 96 for the loss of 3. And this is something that need to be looked at. You have Ramal Lewis here, not being played by the Jaguars because the Jaguar, they have a tested 11, 12, 13 that they have been playing all
Jaguars
along.
have got 3 good spinners.
Yes, so true.
So it's going to be hard for Ramal to break into to the Jaguars 4-day side. He has played one day, of course, and he has done well. He
Yes,
has done well.
certainly. Here is Green. He comes in, bowls to Vishal Singh. That's a good delivery. And he's coming forward, plays it out towards short extra cover. There is no run. And this has been great effort here by Derval Green. And look at the Jaguars camp as well. There's someone like Keon Joseph, West Indies, a team player, and not really getting the amount of cricket that one is expected to see Keon Joseph bowl. He's a very good fast bowler as well.
I think what would be interesting there is after this season is finished and the retainers and so on are going to be thinking if Guyana Jaguars will actually have him as one of their retained players, or if he would be into that pool, because if he goes into the pool, I'm sure somebody would snap him up.
This is turned away into the onside field and there is no run. I remember one of the basketball teams in the United States of America, the Los Angeles Lakers, a few years ago, purchased a fella, a very tall Chinese guy, for $90 million US, and just to have him sit on the bench because they didn't want to face him off in another game. So sometimes these things happen. You never know. But it's a pity to see the class of Ramal Lewis just fetching in towels and water there as we watch Green once again. He passes the umpire, comes in, bowls to Singh. Outside the line of the off stump, he allows it to go by, and there is no run. Still 96 for the loss of 3.
Right, it's interesting as well, and I have no problem with players playing for different countries. Actually, I love it. And I've always said I would love to see when one of the territories in the region actually approaches one of the senior players to go and play for them and dangle a carrot on them and see what would happen. I've waited for that and I've never seen it happen, but I'm still waiting to see when that would happen.
But you never know. It might very well happen because the franchise, I think has served its purpose so far. He's coming forward, plays out into the offside field. There is no run in the sense that we are having so many different players coming into another territory, making that territory their home and playing for them. It opens up a whole new opportunity. At the beginning, did not bear the fruits, what many expected, but I think as the years grew by, you're just beginning to see that. Just look at the performance of the West Indies team now. There are many, many people who are saying, me White very well torn that corner. Good performance by them so far. That's going to be added motivation to many of our young players. Green sprints in, comes up, bowls to Vishal Singh. He gets a good delivery, works it away down towards short mid-wicket. There is no run. The over is completed. At the end of it, it's a maiden. 13 is Singh. Yet to score. In fact, 13 is Leon Johnson. Singh is yet to score. It's 96 for 3.
Yeah, another good over from Green bowling on or about the middle and leg stump, not giving Vishal Singh any sort of room, making him play at each delivery. What I would love to see him do probably maybe is in the next over, go around the wicket to Vishal, try and get the ball to straighten, because where he's bowling from, the hard delivery is keeping low. If he comes around the wicket and one straightens, keep low, he's got a better chance of getting him out LBW.
So we shall see, and Footed In is having some discussion there as well. You'll never know what these discussions are. And Footed In seems to be really in the camp today. Yesterday he was on the boundary for almost the entire day.
I think yesterday we all knew what happened. There was some issues with him. And from our reports, they were sending him to field under the bat, and he actually refused. So So
And that's not good for the game, Clyde. If your skipper is asking you, you're a part of the team, and he wants to put you at forward
well,
short
it
leg.
looked bad. The whole
Yes,
thing yesterday looked
it did.
bad.
It did. Well, things seems to be okay today. There are 3 wickets in the bag. The score is 96. Williams comes in, bowls to Johnson. He watches the delivery go by into the gloves of the keeper, and there is no run. So the sun streaming down very nicely at the moment. There's some clouds, but they're very, very far away from the stadium. And Kenroy Williams continue to toil away from the southern end of the ground. Comes in, bowls to Johnson, back he goes, cuts at one, and the ball flew over the top of the bat into the gloves of the keeper.
Yes, I think Leon Johnson has got to be mindful that lunch is just round the corner as well. Kenroy Williams is actually bowling for him to play those shots, try to look to cut through the offside.
Williams comes in, bowls to Johnson, back he goes, and he's cutting at this one, and that's a knockdown at backward point, and there was Vishal Singh running, looking for that single, and Johnson had to send him back, but very good feeling by Azad, footed in at backward point.
Yes, that's what you want to see. You want to see your fielders dive in, try and save every run.
Williams bowls to Johnson. That's a good delivery, nagging line and length, and he's stretching forward. Leon Johnson plays it away down towards short cover. There is no run, so there are lots of time in this game. The target for the Jaguars 170. They're 96 for 3. Here is Kenroy Williams, bowls to Johnson, and Johnson is tugging this one away out through mid-wicket. It's not going to get to the boundary. In fact, it has gotten there, and that's 4 good-looking run. Johnson gets the boundary. He will move on now to 17, and that's the 100 up for the Jaguars. They're 100 for the loss of 3. So Johnson got the opportunity, and he gets the boundary. That was a little loose delivery by Kenwell Williams, who was keeping it tight just about the line of the off stump, just floated up a little bit too much. And Johnson just walked into the shot, picked it up, and deposited through mid-wicket. Williams to Johnson, short delivery outside the line of the off stump. He isn't playing a shot, allows the ball to go by. The over has been completed. 100 for the loss of 3. 17 is Leon Johnson. Vishal Singh is yet to score.
Yeah, and just releasing the pressure there that they did review before by bowling a full toss on the leg stump. And Jerome Taylor, of course, struggling out on the boundary. You could have seen him wasn't going to get there because he has some niggles and he has been struggling in the field. But he's not say die. When he's gotten the ball in his hands, he's running and bowl, and he's tried hard for the Jamaican Scorpions.
Yes, and you did mention that Powell didn't take the field for this morning as well, so that's an added blow to
Yeah,
the
because Powell
Jamaican
could have been a
Scorpion.
handful on this pitch as well, bowling that
Yes.
sort of nagging length and line. And I think the Jamaican Scorpions were affected in this game by not having Jerome Taylor fully fit. Because remember, he couldn't bowl yesterday
That's right.
for about an hour and a half or more. And when he came on, straight after lunch, he got the 2 wickets. So that would have put a lot of pressure on them as well.
Here is Green. He comes in, bowls to Vishal Singh. That's a good delivery. He walks across defense, plays down towards mid-on.
And Green didn't bowl a lot in the first innings as well, which was a little surprising to me.
Yes, Green had 13 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 41 in the first innings. Rovman Powell, 18 overs, 6 maidens, 2 for 43, and did bowl well. So that's a double blow for them with Taylor and Powell not being at the fitness level that they should have been. As we watch Green begins his approach once again. He comes up, bowls. That's a short lifting delivery. Well bowled, was a good testing delivery by Dorval Green.
Yeah, I think if you're bowling to Vishal Singh, you need to have him face a few of those deliveries. He doesn't hook a lot, and he tends to look to ride some of those balls. So when they get big on him, he's always going to have himself in a little bit of a tangle.
Yes, and even when he gets behind Clyde, his body is actually slanted as he plays the delivery, not getting behind and opening the chest towards the ball. Here is Green, comes up, bowls to Vishal Singh, and he's working this one away into the onside. Down towards short mid-wicket, there is no run, and he's been pressured here. Vishal Singh still looking for his forced run. These two came together when the score was on 93. It has gone on now to 100 for the loss of 3. And they've been very, very patient out there. In the previous over, Leon Johnson got almost a full toss, made good use of it, just freeing himself up a little. But here is Green maintaining this pressure as he continues to bowl over the wicket to the right hand, to the left-handed Singh. And this time he's going to look for his first run. It's not there. Turned away down towards short backward square. Blackwood is after it. He collects. There is no run. The score stays on 100 for the loss of 3. In another 5 minutes or so, they'll be going for lunch, and that was because play started 35 minutes late. They've taken the extra half an hour this morning session. So Derval Green has done a good job. He is in his 7th over before the 6 overs, 1 for 26. He races in, comes in and bowls. This is tickled fine, and Vishal Singh is going to get his force runs. The ball goes down towards long leg. He's off the mark with 1. It's now 101 for the loss of 3.
Yeah, Derval Green there, just guilty of maybe thinking I could slip a Yorker in and get him out when he had him tight, fairly tight, just bowling that back of the length delivery. Well, for effort, you've got to give him that
so
sort of
true.
credit. He's got to try to get a wicket. He just can't bowl and hope. He's got to try. So you have to give him that sort of credit for effort. And now he's coming around the wicket to Leon Johnson.
So let's see as he begins to move in once again. Passes umpire Blades, comes in, bowls to Johnson, good delivery. And he gets on the back foot, plays down towards short cover, and they scamper the single, almost teething one in front of the eyes of the Scorpions. The over comes to an end. The score will now move on to 102 for the loss of 3, and Leon Johnson now goes on to 17.
And that's good cricket because every run counts, and that ball was just pushed out on the offside. And quickly, Vishal Singh called for the single, and I got it easily in the end.
So let me just run through what transpired today. The Jaguars overnight on 25 without loss. Hemra at 16, Tejana and Chandapal on 9. Both look very comfortable, still 145 away from a possible victory against the Scorpions. And Clyde, you were mentioning something?
Blackwood is coming into the attack. Everyone remembers Blackwood in the first, and he just come on straight away and getting Leon Johnson out.
Yes, picking up Leon Johnson, had 1 for 9 off 4 overs. So they're looking for the golden arm here to get a wicket, and you'll never know with a wicket here what can happen in this match. Today, Hemrat played some spanking shot. I recall off Green, he got a short ball and he pulled it for a mighty 6. This is Stickle down the leg side. He's going to run pretty close. Leverage lumbles after it. He's not going to get that. They get the boundary. Good looking shot by Leon Johnson. Just tickling, and it came off the bat. He gets another boundary. He moves on to 21. That will take the score now on to 106 for 3. And then Hemraj was caught by King of Taylor for 42. 57 for 1. Slashing at a wide delivery. Rutherford was bowled by Green for 5. 73 for 2. As we watch Kenroy Williams once again. He comes up and bowls to Johnson. Johnson goes back, turns it away, and looking for the single. Vishal Singh, the return comes in, misses the woodwork. Where was he going, Vishal Singh? Johnson turned the ball. He wasn't attempting a single, wasn't moving towards it. There was Vishal Singh scampering down the track. Well, he had to scamper back. He got home. Here is Kenroy Williams. He comes up, bowls to Johnson. That's a good delivery. And Johnson just poking the bat at it and footed in misfeeling, running away down towards third man. And in the end, they got the single, 1 to Johnson. He moves on now to 18, 107 for the loss of 3. Rutherford was bowled by Green for 5. Tejnarayan Chandapal, LBW Williams, 33, 93 for the loss of 3. Now Vishal Singh has the strike. The previous delivery, he was hustling to get there. And he looks around the field. He taps away Vishal Singh. Here is Kenroy Williams. Round the wicket. Comes up, bowls to Singh. Tossed up, and he's turning this one away. Down towards the backward square. Leverage comes off the boundary. Sends the return in. Singh gets another run. He now moves on to 2. 108 for the loss of 3.
Yeah, and I think just looking at things here, Guyana Jaguars would be very happy with how things have gone for them in the last half an hour. So they haven't lost a wicket, and they're certainly just batting towards lunch now.
Now that's a good delivery by Kenrol Williams, bang on target, and he's
Blackwood.
in fact right, Blackwood, and he's defending, plays back up the track. There is no run. Jermaine Blackwood, right arm off spinner. He comes up and bowls to Johnson. Johnson is coming forward, plays back on the onside of the pitch. Will the umpire take the bails off? He does, and that's lunch on the final day with the Jaguars hunting 170 for victory at lunch. They 108 for 3. 22 is Leon Johnson and 2 to Vishal Singh. Hemorrhage gone for 42, Rutherford for 5, Taylor for 30. In fact, T.H. Narayan Chandapal for 33. Clyde, sum up the session for us.
Well, I think the Jaguars would be very happy with the way our session have gone. Yes, they've lost 3 wickets, but you're chasing 170 out for victory, and you've got Leon Johnson and Vishal Singh in the crease. I'm sure they would not have liked to lose 3 wickets, but they did. But I think they're comfortably placed at this time.
So the Jaguars, they're looking for a further 62 runs for victory. The Scorpions will need 7 more wickets to deny them. So that's lunch with the Jaguars, 108 for the loss of 3. Do join us in another 40 minutes for more ball-by-ball commentaries. This is Inderjeet returning you to your respective studios.
We greet you with the news that the Guyana Jaguars need now 62 runs to win this game. This is the final day of their match involving the Jamaica Scorpions. And of course, brilliant sunshine now, no threat of rain whatsoever. The luncheon interval is over, the players are back out in the middle, the umpires are there. And it's Bulai who's going to bowl from the commentary box in. And Vishal Singh will be facing. He's on 222 is Leon Johnson, the captain, the two most experienced batsmen out there in the middle for Guyana right now. 108 for the loss of 3, with Hemraj going for 42, Tej Chandrapal for 33, Rutherford for 5, the batsmen back in the pavilion. So at lunch, 108 for 3, 28 overs were bowled. Johnson 22 not out, Singh 2 not out, 4 extras. 62 still needed to win this game. John Ramsing is alongside me. Good afternoon, John. Brilliant sunshine now with Providence as Bulai gets ready to bowl over the wicket to Vishal Singh. Here's a ball that's pitched outside the off stump, going forward away from the left-hander, taken by the keeper. No run. Good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon, Matthew, and to listeners. Yes, just 62 needed for the Guyana Jaguars, and the Jamaica Scorpions looking to get 7 wickets.
Here is Bulai. Left-hand Chinaman bowler is forcing Vishal Singh onto the front foot as he drives down towards Palmer. And there is no run. A slip on a silly point, backward point. There's a cover on the boundary, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, straight mid-wicket, and the backward square on the boundary. So the sun is out in all its glory at Providence. And I know everyone keen to know when this game will come to an end, with the Jaguars coming up with a victory outside the off stump, taken by the keeper, no run. And when they get there, John, hopefully, 5 wins for the Jaguars in this season so far, losing 2. This is their 7th match. Here is Bulai, comes up, he's in, bowls to Singh forward, pushes it down towards Palmer cover, and there is no run. And that will be a good victory for the Jaguars, knowing that they lost 2 in a row.
Getting back their campaign on that trail, looking to defend their title, and definitely 5 in a row will be much better than 4 and then losing this season.
Here is Bulai. That's a delivery that bounced, and it actually kept low when he pitched it. It kept low, went through very low to the keeper, Orin Williams. A lot of appeal going up. Vishal Singh was searching for a shot, and he didn't get a touch onto it. 108 for the loss of 3.
And Matthew, we must say good afternoon to the listeners on the Voice of Guyana and your very good friend Morano Isaacs.
Oh yes.
So he's listening to you loud and clear.
Here was a ball that's pitched on the line of the off stump. He's coming forward. Vishal Singh plays it down towards Palmer, the Jamaica captain. The over comes to an end, the first after lunch here, with the Jaguars needing a further 62 to make it 5 wins this season. They're 108 for 3. Johnson is 22, Vishal Singh 2.
First over after lunch, we expect both teams to looking to get back into the momentum that they had just before lunch. The Guyana Jaguars captain Leon Johnson 22, Vishal Singh 2. They batted well going to lunch, preserving their wickets. And the Jamaica Scorpions, they were hunting. But first over, just a loosener from Dennis Bulai, and Vishal Singh showing him full respect, just trying to get his feet going as well. But the 62 needed by the Guyana Jaguars, they'll fancy themselves of getting that in this session, Matthew.
Right, so close of play yesterday, 25 without loss, 4 overs, Hemraj 16, Chandrapal 9. And this morning we lost Hemraj after playing some lovely shots, caught by Brandon King, a lovely catch at gully off the bowling of Taylor for 42, 7 fours, 1 6 from 29 balls. He went into overdrive, Hemraj, 57 for the loss of 1 in the 11th over, and then Rutherford bowled by Green for 5, looking to play an almighty heave over mid-wicket, missed the shot completely, and the ball ends up 73 for 2. Then in the 17th over, as we watch, it's Kenroy Williams who comes back into the attack and bowls on the middle stump. Johnson forward, plays back to the bowler, no run. And then Chandrapal, leg before wicket to the bowling of Williams, coming forward tentatively, but not forward enough for the ball to hit him outside the stumps. 33 he made, 93 for 3. Here was a ball that forces Johnson onto the back foot. He plays down on the onside of the pitch, no run in the 22nd over. So at lunch, 108 for 3. And let's say good afternoon to everyone listening to the commentary right across Guyana, especially in Berbice, Essequibo, wherever you are, especially in the hinterland areas. NCN reaches very far and wide in Guyana. Forward comes Johnson, plays down on the offside of the pitch. Kenroy Williams feels well, no chance of a run. Really wonderful conditions now for cricket. Here is a ball that's driven by Johnson down towards long on. He will pick up a single. His first run after lunch. He moves to 23. The Guyana captain, 109 now for the loss of 3. And John, how these two would need to stay there to bring up a victory for the Guyana Jaguars?
Most definitely, because what they have done in the first innings with that 101 partnership, they have seen all of the bowlers, and this track is a very flat one. They want to back themselves. Also, remember Kenroy Williams, he got 1 wicket in this game, not giving too much of trouble for the Jaguars.
Williams bowls. Vishal Singh gets it out into the offside, picked up down at point by Fudderdin.
Then remember, of course, again, the Jamaica Scorpions missing the services of Rovman Powell, who we understand has muscle spasms and got a few injections this morning, but he's at the ground, but will not take the field.
So forward comes Singh, pushed into the offside, no run. Well, that's always interesting when these players, come up with some injuries. It's not easy. They're playing a lot of cricket. You've got to play each team twice now in this PCL Regional 4-day tournament. Many years ago, you just used to play once, actually. So extended cricket, because players need to be out there. They need to practice a lot. They need to develop their skill, develop their art and giftings. And of course, they're being paid for this now as well.
Professional cricketers now, but the home and away system as well, that format is really a good format because it gives the home team the advantage of playing at home. And then, of course, when they have to travel, it tests their ability as well to play on different conditions. So that format is as well as the point system really works, and it's really been doing good for the West Indies cricket.
Here is Johnson driving, nice shot, but good work by Palmer down at extra cover to stop what would have been a certain boundary. Good looking shot coming onto the front foot, using the feet nicely. Bulai bowling from the commentary box, and he's up now. Bowls to Johnson. Johnson forward defensive. Plays down to Palmer, no run. And then, of course, these two teams leave for Jamaica because they're playing each other back to back. One at home here, Guyana in their backyard, and then the Jaguars will have to play Jamaica in their backyard at Sabina Park next Thursday. That game will start. On the back foot goes Johnson, turns it down towards mid-wicket. Brandon King is out there and there is no run. And they leave when? Tomorrow, John?
Yeah, Monday is the travel day for this tournament. And after Monday, they practice Tuesday, Wednesday, play Thursday to Sunday.
Bulai is in his 8th over before this, 7 overs of 21 runs. That's driven into the ground. Johnson and Bulai just leaping in the air to pluck the ball out of the air. Bulai in his 8 overs, 7 overs, none for 21. Taylor, 10 overs, 1 for 39. Green, 7 overs, 1 for 28. Williams, 5 overs, 1 for 10. Here is Blackwood, 1 for 6. Here's a ball that's driven down towards mid-on. There's a field out there. That's Leverage, the fast bowler who's on for Rovman Powell from the start when we started at 10:35 this morning. Late start because of rain, heavy showers overnight, and then, of course, this morning early. And even whilst I was traveling to Providence, it was raining. Here is a ball. Johnson down the track, drives, nice shot, beating Leverage to his left at mid-on, down to the boundary for 4. Good use of the feet from the Guyana captain on that occasion. And he plays spin well, John, as we saw in the first innings. He moves to 27, the total up to 113 for the loss of 3.
Yeah, good shot. Johnson looking to use his feet all over, trying to greet Bulai on the half volley at least. And then this one, I push it a bit wider of mid-on because previously he got it straight to the field at mid-on, Leverage, and on this occasion he got it to the left of Leverage and into the boundary for 4. It was well hit, but Bulai with a relatively new ball just can't get the type of turn he was getting in the first innings, and pitching, of course, just a trifle short, and Johnson using his feet well to get a boundary and to get himself going after lunch as well. So the run chase continues here for the Guyana Jaguars. Kenroy Williams, I must say, despite picking up 1 wicket out of Tajan Ryan Chandapal, does not look that threatening to me still, Matthew.
Yes, and I'll ask you to clarify a couple of things just now. Forward comes Singh, push back to Williams, no run. A little discussion earlier between Clyde and Inderjeet on the Ramal Lewis situation. He's Jamaican. He's with the Jaguars for a couple of years now. Doesn't play a lot for the Jaguars. Here is a ball that's angled down the leg side. and Vishal Singh getting inside his stumps, no run. But Raymond Reef is a franchise player for Guyana. He's a West Indies player as well. You've got a Ramal Lewis situation. You've got a Kenroy Williams playing for Jamaica. Here is a ball that bounces and turns away from the left-hander, push into the offside, no run. What's the scenario surrounding the Jamaica camp? I know Clyde made mention of the fact that it's kind of surprising that you've got a Ramal Lewis with the Jaguars, when Jamaica probably may have needed someone like him. Forward comes Singh, push into the offside, no run.
Well, this is franchise cricket for you, Matthew, and listeners. Ramal Lewis is with the Guyana Jaguars on a contract for this, probably his third year.
Right. Here is Williams bowls, gets the ball on the middle stump. Is Singh pushes it into the onside, no run.
He has been playing limited overs cricket for the Guyana Jaguars, Super 50.
Right.
Not getting the opportunities at the 4-day level because, like Botsi mentioned as well, Bishu Pamal Moti.
Here is Williams bowls and popped. Coming forward is Vishal Singh and popping that into the offside. Just bouncing in front of Silly Point. No chance of a run. The over comes to an end. Continue to explain that situation with Lewis.
Right. So because of that contract that is pretty much binding him to the Guyana Jaguars, which is what the West Indies Cricket Board wanted a few years ago when they started the PCL, the Professional Cricket League. So he's now with the Guyana Jaguars setup. The Jamaica Scorpions, they've lost Damian Jacobs.
Right.
He's now playing with the Islands.
Correct.
And because of that, they're looking for a quality spinner. Remember, Nikita Miller is out with an injury as well. So I guess that's why Kenroy Williams, who is a franchise player from Barbados with the Jamaica Scorpions, is getting his opportunity. I don't think he's actually the best if you look at around the Caribbean, really. So I guess that's what Botsi is really getting at.
That's right. That's
there
right.
are others available, basically. But I think in the context, Fabian Allen as well from Jamaica, he started the season. He played maybe a match or two for the Scorpions earlier. He got injured as well. So that's why I think Williams has been elevated into this 4-day game for Jamaica.
Here is Bulai bowls to Johnson. Johnson is driving and beats the fielder down on the cover boundary to his left. And Johnson picks up another boundary. Good flowing drive through the covers. Coming down the track again to Bulai. He now moves to 37, 117 for the loss of 3.
Right. In addition to that, the Jamaica Scorpions, they've lost the services of Odin Smith as well. He's now with the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force.
That's right.
He's a seam bowler. But that's how the franchise system is working. Players will be moving around to different franchises.
Right, they'll be shuffled around. That's right.
So the Guyana Jaguars, they have as well West Indies on the 19th left-arm seamer, Javier Spencer, who was contracted last July with the Jaguars.
Down the track, lifts that nice shot, Johnson. Back over to the left of Bulai, down to the boundary for 4, where mid-on would have been. Lovely shot from Johnson. 2 boundaries, consecutive boundaries to the Guyana captain. He's in an aggressive mood. He wants to finish this game early. He's gone to 35, 121 for 3.
Very good shot. Good use of the feet once again by Leon Johnson. Greeting Bulai on the half volley and the field at mid-on, who's now pushed back to long on, had no chance.
Here is a ball that he's pulling through mid-wicket. Runs here for the Guyana captain. 1. The ball just stops as it drops 2/3 of the way to the mid-wicket boundary. He'll keep that single. 36, he moves on to 122 for the loss of 3. Over number 33 in progress as a scoreboard. 2 to Vishal Singh, who comes in to strike. But it's difficult for Ramal Lewis to get into the regional 4-day team, actually. Very difficult indeed. Here, with a team that's doing so well, forward comes Singh. Coming down the track and then checks the shot, pushed into the offside, no run. There is Keon Joseph, who hasn't been able to get back into the side to play a couple of matches as well. He's been left out as well. So it's a pretty strong side with good players, good all-rounders. You've got a Shepherd bowling well, Pestano probably given a rest, who's been a very good player as well this season. He's done well with the bat and ball. Here is Bulai bowls, has given some air. And Vishal Singh just eases it around the corner to backward square for a single. 123 for the loss of 3. He now moves on to 3. But it's always going to be difficult when your players are performing up to scratch, most of them.
Yeah, difficult to get into the final 11, maybe even the squad. Because in the Jaguars reserve as well, we have quality left-arm spinner Anthony Adams, the captain of the Escobar franchise, who has been doing everything right, but just can't get into the Jaguars final 11.
Bulai bowls on the middle stump. Johnson on the back foot punches it down to mid-on. Brandon King comes around from mid-wicket, straight mid-wicket to field. The over comes to an end. 123 for the loss of 3. Johnson is 36. Vishal Singh is on 3, John, and they're inching closer to victory here.
Looking very good, the Guyana Jaguars. After lunch, Captain Johnson playing some shots and getting good support from his vice captain, Vishal Singh, who's been playing the supporting role. Don't need to do too much, especially if a captain is free scoring at the other end. Bulai not looking so threatening, and of course, Kenroy Williams just up and down so far. Nice conditions for cricket. They should not have any other interruption. And we must say to our listeners on the Voice of Guyana that at 13 hours 30, the Voice of Guyana will be taking a break for about 30 minutes for a paid program, and then they will come back at 14 hours and they will pick up the action once the Guyana Jaguars don't bring home victory in that time.
Williams bowls quicker, flatter outside the off stump, taken by Williams, and there is no run. I thought about that because after you give that announcement, I'm saying, will the game go that long? Well, 47 needed. Here is Williams comes up, he's in bowl, so Singh is across, pushes it out towards backward point, and there is no run. So slip, backward point in, footed in. There is a cover on the boundary, extra cover. There is also a silly point. There is a mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket, and a backward square. Here is Singh gets a ball that he's going to cut, actually cutting under the ball, bouncing away to Blackwood, no chance of a run. He's kept on 323 for the loss of 3. So, John, it's come down to the final day, and it's been a really good game indeed.
It's good to see that the game going into the 4th day because against Trinidad Red Force, that game finished in 3 days for the Jaguars.
On the back foot goes Singh, pushes it out towards extra cover, no chance of a run.
The game before that the Jaguars were involved in against the Hurricanes right here at Providence, had it not been for some stoppages for the weather and from illness, that game that went into the 4th day could have very well been finished early as well.
That's right. Here is a ball that Vishal Singh steers towards backward point, footed in, is out there, and there's no run. He's a franchise player for Jamaica,
right,
from Guyana. He used to play for Guyana a number of years. He has played for Guyana.
Trevon
but he's
Griffith, who was with the Scorpions and now back home with the Jaguars.
That's right. Forward comes Singh, advances down the track, then checks the shot, pushes it out towards extra cover. Brandon King is out there. The over comes to an end. 123 for the loss of 3. Johnson, the Guyana captain, is on 36. 3 to Vishal Singh. And 34 overs, I believe, has been completed in the Guyana Jaguars' second innings, needing 170 to win. They're 47 away from a 5th victory in this season.
Yes, and the required run now, the required target is under 50 runs. So the Guyana Jaguars will be continuing in their quest for that 5th victory in the 7th game of this season. With 3 games to go, they go to Jamaica to take on the Scorpions at Sabina Park from next Thursday. They have a week off before playing the Barbados Pride right here at Providence, and then wrapping up their campaign against Trinidad and Tobago Red Force a week after that on the lights in a day-and-night game beginning at 2 p.m. daily. So that's going to be the Jaguars' rest of matches, but they have been doing very well at home, so they'll fancy themselves to generally win maybe one, if not both of those 2 matches at home, and to hold on to the title that they have won 4 seasons running.
Yes, and one will remember as Bulai comes in, he's bowling to, that's Johnson. Johnson took it on the turn, pitched outside the leg stump, and he swept it around backward of square. Good bit of work by the fielder down there. Is that Williams? Kenroy Williams. And the batsmen come back for 2, so 2 more to Johnson. He's gone on to 38. I went to Jamaica in 2017, and I'll tell you, I went to Sabina Park where West Indies were playing India, actually, and saw Virat Kohli score 100 at Sabina Park. He actually scored that 100 with a lot of ease. Off the back foot goes Johnson, pushed away into the offside, no run. I think Rodman Powell for the West Indies got a quick fire, maybe half century, I'm trying to remember, or close to that. He came down the order. But Virat Kohli really performed well in that particular one-day game. Forward comes Johnson, pushed into the offside, and there's a runner. He performs well in almost every match when he gets his chance, of course. The number 1 ranked player in the world in Test and one-day internationals. And I remember Sabina Park is a pretty nice ground, actually. So they'll be playing there next week from Thursday. Off the back foot, Johnson pushes it out towards cover for the fielder to trot in to pick up. He gets a single. He moves to 39. Now John 126 with a loss of 3. We're talking about when Bulai was coming into ball, and we're looking at the franchise players moving around. But yes, you've got Trevon Griffith back. He played for Jamaica for a couple of years. And now we've got Footerdin playing there, because Footerdin probably would not have get into the Guyana side now. Here is a ball that Singh waits on it to turn across him, and then he steers it out towards Blackwood. It slip, and there is no run. 126 with a loss of 3. But hello to everyone across Guyana, in Jamaica, wherever you are, picking up the commentary. We're coming down to the end of a pretty nice match indeed. Here is a ball that Singh advances down the track and drives down through cover. That's go for 4. That's a nice shot, and he played that with such ease. The timing was there. No power at all in that shot. It was just the placement and the timing that brought him that boundary. A lovely boundary to Singh. He's gone to 7 now, 130 for the loss of 3.
Slow turn that Bulai is getting. So what Singh did on that occasion, walked into the shot and greeted him on the half volley and drove fluently down to extra cover and into the boundary. The timing was superb on that shot, and the fielder, who was at mid-off, felt maybe he could have had a chance, but it was timed so nicely by Vishal Singh that it went across the boundary ropes in no time. Well played to him. And some good news coming in from the Voice of Guyana. We must say kudos to the management and staff there at the Voice of Guyana. They're saying that cricket will continue until the end of the game, and then they will go to that paid program.
That's so lovely indeed, because so many people around the country actually listen to cricket a lot, especially those in Essequibo, in Berbice, in the hinterland areas, the Rupununi. NCN takes their programs to all parts of this country. Actually can get to listen to NCN radio. Here is a ball that forces Johnson onto the back foot, steers it out towards, footed in at backward point, and there is no run. Yes, and that's so nice for NCN to do that, because 40 runs the Guyana Jaguars need to wrap it up here with Providence. A lovely day for cricket. Yes, we did start late, 35 minutes late, but it hasn't affected it wouldn't affect the outcome of the game whatsoever. Here is a ball that Johnson's forward pushes into the offside, looks for a single that's not on, sent back by Vishal Singh. He's kept on 39. He played well in the first innings, John, 58. And he used his feet nicely to the spinners. 7 to Vishal Singh, 130 for 3. Kenroy Williams bowling from the pavilion end. Here is Williams, comes up, he's in bowls. Outside the off stump, taken by Oren Williams. So it's a Williams combination. And there is no run. 130 for the loss of 3. So that'll be an interesting battle in Jamaica's backyard when Guyana go there next week to play Thursday. That game starts. Forward comes Johnson, pushing to the offside, and again no chance of a run. But these two sides have had good battles. And we were talking about a 5th title for the Guyana Jaguars in succession. Jamaica under Tamar Lambert won the title 5 times in a row. Here is a ball that's pushed out towards point. Again, no chance of a run. Good tight bowling here from Williams.
Yes, and Johnson now, he is the most successful Guyana captain because of the amount of titles, judging from the number of titles basically, 4 in a row, and now on the verge of another one. So definitely history is here for Johnson on this Guyana Jaguars side. And we must say that this is the 9th time that these two teams have been playing since the PCL era, and the Guyana Jaguars did not lose a game to the Jamaica Scorpions.
That's right.
During that period of time. So it looks like that will continue in this match here, the 9th match between these two sides, since that 2013-2014 season. And it's good to know that the Guyana Jaguars continue to hold the rest of the Caribbean, where they want them really, the rest of the Caribbean in terms of cricket. It's good to see that the Jaguars really using everything to their advantage. They played well at home. They lost 2 matches on the trot, but they came back nicely. And to get back into the winning ways, one must say that they've been doing excellent on and off the field, despite losing a few players. And we had the West Indies Board 11, they lost some players there. Shimron Hetmeyer came up on now in the test side as well. So they've been losing players, but they've maintained that dominance at the regional level.
Forward comes Vishal Singh, as we have a change in bowling from the commentary box. And Blackwood comes into the attack, and he pushes it out towards cover for 1. Singh moves on to 8 now, 131. The scoreboard should read for the loss of 3. So I'll make that 39 to get. to win this game now. So we've got Blackwood bowling with a slip, and well, in fact, the slip is not in. Yes, the slip is in. That's Brandon King. Backward point. There's a cover on the boundary, extra cover. Then you've got a very short extra cover as well. You've got an extra cover halfway to the boundary, and then you've got a very short extra cover in Chadwick Walton. There is a long off and a long on, mid wicket and a square leg on the boundary. Here is a ball that's driven by Johnson down towards Chadwick Walton. Down at that short cover, and there is no run. 130 for the loss of 3, the board says. Here is Blackwood bowling round the wicket, right hand off spin to Johnson. Johnson is back, pushes it out towards that's Palmer, the captain, down at that deep cover position, and he gets a run. He moves now to 40. He moves into the 40s, and the total up to 132 for the loss of 3. Vishal Singh comes into strike. So 142 for 3 now. So hello to everyone again across the beautiful land of Guyana. Forward comes Singh, plays into the offside, no run. I think all Guyana would be very pleased that the Jaguars have been able to bounce back. I mean, you talked, John, about them winning or being on the winning streak and then losing 2 in a row. Here is Blackwood, comes up, he's in bowls. That's back, goes Singh and steers it away, forces it away down through point. Fuda didn't give in chase for all these work, picks up just inside the boundary. And the batsmen come back for 2. So 2 more to Singh. He now moves into double figures. He's gone to 10. It's 134 now for the loss of 3. But even if you lose, John, I think that it shows that other teams are hungry enough to beat you. And if a team is hungry enough to beat the Jaguars, it says that our cricket overall in the Caribbean can improve, because the Jaguars have been on top for 4 years in a row. Now, in this 5th year, they're doing well. Outside the off, some a little bounce and turn on that occasion. Singh didn't need to play a shot taken by the keeper. The over comes to an end. 132 for the loss of 3.
Once you're winning, teams will try to figure you out. Why is this team winning? Why is this team doing so well? And they want to get into the winning column as well. So what teams have been doing, trying to study the style of play of the Guyana Jaguars and what they've been doing off-season. And they're perhaps now catching up. But it goes to show now that once they're catching up, the Jaguars recognizing that they need to start stretching ahead as well. So what they've done, after those 2 defeats, they've gone back to the drawing boards, and here they are coming back now and bouncing back nicely, like wounded Jaguars bounce back, and now they're reaping the rewards really. But the first innings, 58 by Leon Johnson, a lot of time spent at the crease as well, and that is paying off now, because what you see in the second innings, he looks a much better player. He looks like he's getting back to himself. And that is very important from the Guyana Jaguars standpoint, and especially for Leon Johnson as well.
Yes, I think that from a Guyana standpoint, they don't just want Leon Johnson to get 50s. They want him to go on and get some hundreds. I remember in his early days as a youth player, I think he got a double 100 very young. I think that's where everyone started to look at Johnson as a youth player. He's forward and drives. Magnificent shot. Beating the man at cover, no chance for him at all, and mid-off to his right, down to the boundary for 4. Now that is a shot of a man certainly in form. He's gone to 42, the scoreboard should read. 44 actually, it's gone up to 140 for the loss of 3.
Excellent shot indeed. Like I said, Williams not being penetrative, and Johnson, they're recognizing his limitation, got to the pitch and drove fluently through the covers for 4.
Forward he comes now and taps it into the offside with a silly point fielder to tidy up. No run. He's 43, the board says. Should be 44, right? So he's 44, and the score is 138 actually. The board is behind. Here is a ball that's pitched up in the block hole from Kenroy Williams, and Johnson just coming down and eases it out back to Williams, no run. So it's 138 for 3. Johnson 44, Singh 8. Here is Kenroy Williams bowling round the wicket to Johnson. Johnson back, looks to crack it away through the offside, and that bounce probably off the inner portion of the bat and coming away to the leg side for Blackwood to tidy up. He didn't get a run. He's kept on 44, 138 for the loss of 3, John.
Quite interesting, that last shot played by Leon Johnson. I think he hit it very hard into the ground, and it bounced back. I could have very well bounced back onto the stump.
Here is Johnson coming forward and plays to the right of Williams, who comes around to pick up, no run. But yes, you need teams to perform well, and even though from a Guyana standpoint, they all Guyana would want Guyana to win regular, it's all about how you can also see teams perform. That's a shot, again, that's gone for 4. Nice shot. Johnson advancing down the track to Kenroy Williams, and again beating the man at mid-off to his right, down to the boundary for 4, and Johnson has now moved on to 48, 2 away from consecutive half centuries in this match, the total up to 142 for the loss of 3.
Wonderful flowing cover drive once again from the Guyana Jaguars captain Leon Johnson, and he looks so good when using his feet to the spinners. And on that occasion, he danced down to the off spinner Kenroy Williams, greeted him, and then got a ball through the covers. There were 2 fielders there getting agitated, but it beat both of them, and with surgical precision, that ball went to the boundary. Just 28 runs needed now for the Guyana Jaguars, and 2 needed by the Guyana Jaguars captain Leon Johnson to register his 2nd consecutive half century in this game. It's a very good knock from him and bringing up victory for the Guyana Jaguars.
All right, so Jeet is standing by in the Jeet to probably bring the Jaguars home to a 5th victory. And why not? Good man from Mike Coney. Here is Blackwood Bulls on the off stump. Forward comes Vishal Singh and pushed into the offside, and there is no run. 142, is that correct? 142 for the loss of 3. Blackwood Bulls on the leg stump, tucked away by Singh. Backward of square. Runs here for the little left-hander from GCC. 1. They'll come back for a second as Williams gets onto the ball on the backward square leg boundary. 2 more to Singh. He moves into double figures now. He's gone to 10. It's 144 for the loss of 3. Johnston is on 48. So we're getting closer and closer to that victory. The Jaguars. Here is a ball that's just short of a length, and Singh tucks it around the corner through square leg for 1. He now moves on to 11, 145 now for the loss of 3. So 25 needed, John. 25 needed. When we started this morning, they had 25 and needed 145. It's the other way around now. As
Good observation, Matthew.
As Blackwood gets ready to bowl to the Guyana captain, who's looking for another half century at this level. He's got 1 in the first innings already. Here is Blackwood bowls Johnson up the back foot, chops it away down towards Fududin at backward point. No chance of a run. He's kept in 48. Chandrapal went for 33, Hemraj 42, and Rutherford 5. The batsmen back in the pavilion for the Jaguars. And oh, how it would do them a lot of confidence going to Jamaica tomorrow when they travel out. A drive from Johnson straight to Palmer, extra cover. He can't score. He's kept in 48, 145 for 3. And going to Jamaica with that positivity back for the Jaguars. It's not that they lost it for a long time, just losing 2 consecutive matches. But they've certainly played positive throughout the tournament. Back, he's gonna get his 50. With a spanking shot down behind point. Johnson gets his 50, raises his bat to his teammates in the pavilion, and for the small crowd on hand in the green stand, another excellent half century. It's 36 actually, 50 at first class level. A brilliant knock from the Guyana captain, John, leading from up front. He's 52, 149 for the loss of 3 as the over comes to an end. Inderjeet will tell you more about that after some more thoughts from John.
Well played to the Guyana Jaguars captain Leon Johnson, and he is certainly at the crease at the right time, bringing home victory for his side and his 2nd consecutive 50 in this match. He needed some runs under his belt. He got 58 in the first innings, and that knock really set him up nicely because we see him coming into this innings looking very positive indeed, using his feet nicely, playing some shots that would have seen him not perhaps getting control of. And because of that innings in the first innings, he looks the part in this game and taking the Guyana Jaguars home. Good afternoon, Inderjeet. Lovely shot to greet you.
Good afternoon, John. Yes, that was a fine shot. Here is Kenroy Williams. He's on the way. Comes up, bowls to Vishal Singh. Back he goes, and he's looking to tickle one down the leg side. Didn't make contact. The keeper skips away towards his right. And you know what, John? Matthew took so many wickets for the Scorpions. I will give him a chance to score the winning run for the Jaguars this afternoon. So, Matthew, don't you go away. Stay in the commentary box. This is turned away down towards short backward square. The return came in, disturbed the woodwork, but Vishal Singh was home. He gets the single, moves on to 12, and that's 150 up for the Jaguars. 150 for the loss of 3. They're hunting 20 runs more.
Very good cricket. Good run in between the crease. Good fielding from Chadwick Walton, hitting the stump as well from that short cover region. But the Guyana Jaguars batsman had it covered. Vishal Singh getting into his ground. Just 20 needed. And why not give the mathematician, the statistician, Matthew Casey?
Yes.
He had a wonderful game. Give him the opportunity to bring it home indeed.
Very much so. This is stroked away into the offside field, but all I wanted was a little balance. He took too many wickets for the Scorpions. Didn't score enough runs for the Jaguars, so he will get that chance.
So he's our man of the match.
That's right. Williams bowls to the left-handed Leon Johnson. He comes forward, he defends, back up the track. And this has been a good knock by Leon Johnson. The Guyanese skipper just seemed to be touching the form, touching that part where we know he can perform well. He's playing out towards extra cover, and there is no run. Still 150 for the loss of 3. Now I think after this game, the attention will turn to the next round. That starts on next Thursday. The Jaguars will be traveling to Jamaica. He's coming forward. Johnson opens the face, drops it away into the offside field. There is no run. The over is completed. 150 for the loss of 3. Johnson is on 52. Vishal Singh has 12.
And we could perhaps start looking ahead to, if at all, the Guyana Jaguars will be looking to make a change, and maybe an enforced change or so. But I think the team here that is playing against the Jamaica Scorpions looks very settled. Should be the team that will be going to Jamaica. Same number 12 and number 13 in Keon Joseph and Clinton Pestano. So I rather suspect that same squad will be going. I don't think they'll be making any change because the old formula says do not change a winning combination.
Yeah, so true. But in that final 11 in Jamaica, they're playing at Kensington, at Sabina Park. And I think we might very well see Clinton Pestano back in the Jaguars lineup at the expense of Shorefane Rutherford. I pitied Rutherford when he had to bat at number 3. I think it doesn't serve the young man any good. Now the ball has been entrusted in the hands of Chadwick Walton as he begins his approach. Right arm off spinner comes in. Bolso Singh, that's a full toss, and he's cutting away down toward backward point. Could have done more with that. Footed is in the way. He could have hit that one anywhere.
But I think he tried to hit it too hard. That's why. Lost the shape, and of course just got it to at the bottom of the bat and footed in at backward point. Just had a little diving and a tumble to save it.
Yes, here is Walton. He comes up, bowls to Singh. That's another full toss, and he's driving away down towards cover on the boundary. And they will take 1. He now moves on to 13. 151 for the loss of 3. And NCN John is actually staying with the broadcast until the end of the game. And then they're going to run the regular program. Thanks very much.
Wonderful indeed. And this is, we always say, when I was there at that company, I used to say NCN, the sportsman's choice. Got that from the late Bertie Chancellor. And it stuck with me. And even now, the sportsman's choice, showing that they're living up to that tag. Wonderful indeed. And it's your national team. Why not?
Yes.
Bring it home and allow the listeners across the land to follow and enjoy.
Yes, so true. And thanks to the great partnership because Cricket 360 Radio actually responsible for the broadcast. Here he comes in and bowls. That's a good delivery and tickled nicely. Down towards fine leg. Now this ball is going to run pretty close towards the boundary. That was an excellent shot by Leon Johnson. He gets the boundary. He now moves on to 56, 155 for the loss of 3. It was lined with the stumps, John, but Johnson played well.
Yes, wonderfully well indeed. We must remember Chadwick Walton is a part-time bowler. He is going to be giving you some opportunities, some scoring opportunities in a way he'd like to buy your wicket really. So Johnson very watchful on that occasion and playing it soft, tickling it down to fine leg, and he got a boundary. Partnership, Cricket 360, NCN, wonderful indeed, doing the works, bringing cricket back on radio, bringing it to the people, and this partnership bringing back victory for the Guyana Jaguars, now Ward 62.
Yes, this is a short delivery and Johnson just walks down the track and he taps it down towards mid-off. There is no run. So hello to all listeners wherever you are. The Jaguars, they're sniffing victory at the moment. Here is Walton. That's short and turned away down towards forward square. Brandon King moves away towards his left. He feels well. They get the single. Johnson gets another run. He moves on to 57. It's 156 for the loss of 3. Today, Hemraj was caught by King off Taylor for 42. Here is this next delivery by Walton. Tossed up and Vishal Singh comes forward. Works it away down towards short backward square. He too gets a single and keeps the strike. The over is completed. Singh moves on to 1,457 for the loss of 3. Rutherford was bowled by Green for 5. Tej Narain Chandapal went for 33. At lunch it was 108 for the loss of 3. Johnson on 22, Singh on 2. So far, Johnson, he has brought up his half century and he's been supported well by his little partner, Vishal Singh. And we'll just run through the bowling figures for you. Thanks, John. Jerome Taylor, 8 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 36. Derval Green, 9 overs, 4 maidens, 1 for 32. Now, this guy, Derval Green, he ran in and bowled his heart out. 1 for 32, 4 maidens from 9 overs. Kenroy Williams, the off-spinner, 10 overs, 4 maidens, 1 for 19. As we watch Kenroy Williams, he comes up now, bowls to Singh, back he goes and he pulls it away down towards the backward square, gets a single, moves on to 15, 158 now for the loss of 3. And Williams, 10 overs, 4 maidens, 1 for 19. Dennis Belai, the Chinaman bowler, 10 overs, 2 maidens, none for 42. Jermaine Blackwood, just the 3 overs for 17 runs. And Walton, the off-spinner, 1 over that cost him 7. So here is Kenroy Williams, the sunshine streaming down. He comes up now, bowls to Johnson. And Johnson is coming forward there, beaten outside the line of the off stump. It was a good delivery.
Yeah, well bowled. And coming down towards the bottom end of this game, finally we're seeing Williams coming into the game, really. He got a wicket in the second innings and now beating the bat of Johnson, who's well set.
And this is a good delivery, right on target. And Johnson is not going to do anything silly. He comes forward, he defends, plays down towards mid-off, and there is no run. It has been a good match, and I felt that the Scorpions, when they were bundled out for 132 in their second innings, what was the part where they actually went wrong? He comes down the track, Johnson. He drives. It was in the ground, and then it went into the hand of the extra cover. But he was looking for that gap between the short mid-off and the extra cover. Didn't find it. Here is Williams, bowls to Johnson. That's a good delivery. He hurries into the defensive shot now. Plays down towards mid-off. There is no run. Lots of time, so there should not be any hurry whatsoever. You want to play every ball on its merit. Here is Williams, bowls to Johnson, and he has to contend with a very good delivery. He opens the face down towards backward point, footed in fields. There is no run. He's kept on 57, Johnson, 15, Vishal Singh, 158 for the loss of 3 at the end of the over.
Williams varying line and length on that occasion, and Johnson, who is well set on a half century, had to be very watchful. And the extra pace as well on the delivery pushed Johnson back, the last delivery. But it's good to see, a good sign for the Jamaica Scorpions that their off-spinner, who looked pretty ordinary all match, perhaps now finding his feet, now finding his fingers on this track. That should have been very helpful to him. And too late shall be the cry indeed. Also, the other spinner, Dennis Bulai, lots of expectations coming into this game. Just 3 wickets in the first innings and leaked some runs in the second innings. And because of the lack of penetration by their spinners, the Jamaica Scorpions find themselves in the position they are, and they will come second in this game.
Walton comes in, bowls to Singh down the leg side, and this is pulled around down towards the backward square and away to the boundary for 4. That was a good shot. Singh gets the boundary. He moves on to 19. It's now 162, says the scoreboard, for the loss of 3. And I'm wondering to know if Matthew is going to come in. Matthew, please.
Just 2 hits away for the Guyana Jaguars.
Take it home.
So just 8 runs required, and Matthew's having a late lunch, or is it another lunch?
He's going to put the lunch away, John.
That's the second lunch.
Lunch number 2. So here is Chadwick Walton. He comes in and bowls to Vishal Singh, tossed up. He's coming forward, turns it away into the onside field, down towards forward square. There is no run. So they're actually 1 shot away from victory. And I'm still waiting.
It's been a very competitive game in the Jeet. Guyana Jaguars bouncing back to the winning ways. And just before you go, I will ask you, who's your man of the match?
Outside the line of the off stump, this is cut away down towards the third man boundary. He's going to go across the rope for 4, and that's the victory. In fact,
4 needed. Still 4 needed.
Still 4 needed, I beg your pardon. You see, Matthew caught me there off guard. He gets the boundary, and that will take the score now on to 166.
That's right.
Here is the voice of Pastor Matthew Kisoon.
And
Thank you, Indar. Well,
Inderjeet
yeah,
just dodged a bullet.
166
Inderjeet
for
just dodged a
three.
bullet there, Matthew.
yeah,
Not coming up with his man of the match.
He
That's
made me, He
fine.
made me cut my late lunch.
Your
but that's
second
all
lunch,
right.
okay.
That's all right. Here is Walton comes up. He's in bowls to Singh. Singh is flicking that away. He's going to get a single. It went very hard to Brandon King, who sends a return, high return to the keeper. They get home. One more to Singh, so they now need 3 to make it 5 victories in this year's season of regional PCL cricket. And the best man to actually bring up this victory for the Jaguars is Leon Johnson, the captain.
He's the captain.
And I think he's the man who is fitting enough to do it. Here is Walton, bowls to Johnson, Johnson forward, and plays it down at his feet, and there is no run. 167
So
for 3,
from the back
Johnson
of- from the-
57.
From the back of the commentary box, Inderjeet whispering that Johnson is his choice of man of the match. What about you, Matthew?
Yeah, I think he's good, 2 half centuries, and he steadied the ship in terms of the batting department. Vishal Singh got 61. Good partnership between the two of them. What was it, 101, I believe?
Yeah.
Here is Walton comes up. He's in bowls to Johnson. Johnson flicks it away. That will be victory for the Guyana Jaguars. A wonderful victory in their own backyard, John Ramsing. And the best man to have done it for the Jaguars is their leader, their captain, the champion, the man who's led them to 4 consecutive titles and on his way to doing it for a 5th time for his country. Hugs all around, lovely handshakes, a fantastic victory for the Jaguars, winning by 7 wickets here in convincing fashion.
Wonderful victory for Ghana Jaguars. Congratulations to Leon Johnson as well for bringing it home, and that he's also my choice of player of the match. Congratulations to him, a 2nd consecutive half century, and bringing up the victory in fine style. Short delivery from the part-timer Chadwick Walton, and Johnson slapping it around to the backward square for another boundary. That's his 10th 4 to go with 1-6 earlier. So lots of runs and boundaries for Johnson, bringing up victory quite convincing fashion, and the Jaguars getting back their title defense on track, bouncing back from 2 consecutive defeats to a convincing 7-wicket victory. Well played, Ghana Jaguars. Vishal Singh did his part, played the lovely supporting role, 26 from 57 balls with 3 fours. He played very well with Johnson in the first innings as well. So the pair, they bat very well. They were schoolmates, they were club mates, so they know each other inside out really. It was a total team effort, I must say, from the Guyana Jaguars. They were supported well in the field by the bowlers. The fielders did well. Bramble had an off day yesterday, but he played his part as well. So it was a total team effort. Congratulations once again. Let's hear from Inderjeet.
Yes, and you're right about that, John. Total team effort. And when they sent in the Scorpions, and the Scorpions responded with 358 compliments of some very fine batting by the Scorpion players. Blackwood, he stuck around. He made his 61. There was a half century by Brandon King, and Dorval Green. He played very well too for his 86. That 358, while it wasn't an imposing total, I don't think when the Jaguars sent them in to bat, they were expecting that the Scorpions would have reached 358. When they batted too, their innings stuttered a little, and here is where Leon Johnson and Vishal Singh, along with Bramble, who I think played well for his 42. They stabilized that innings. They got to 321. Then their bowlers came back. There was a period when the Scorpions were rebuilding, but that spell by Christopher Barnwell, he had 8 overs, 1 made, he picked up 2 for 18, but he really tested the middle order. And then Moti complemented that with his 3 for 11 that really brought the Jaguars to this point where they could have scored the victory. So I'll just run through the scorecard for the Jaguars for you in their second innings. Hemraj was caught by King today of the bowling of Taylor for 42. He got a delivery wide outside the line of the off stump, and he threw caution to the wind when the score was on 57. Shorefane Rutherford batted at number 3 again. He was bowled by Green for 5, 73 for the loss of 2. Tej Narain Chandapal stuck around for a while. He went LBW to Williams for 33. The last wicket going down when the score was 93 for the loss of 3. At lunch, 108 for 3. Johnson on 22. Singh is on 2. And at the end, when Guyana saw victory, they were unbroken. They stood at the middle and ensured that there is no collapse. With Leon Johnson was left not out on 60 and Singh was on 15. Right, actually he was on 61 and Singh was on 26. In the bowling department, Jerome Taylor, 8 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 36. John, we saw Jerome. He bowled pretty well, but I think he was curtailed a little by some nagging injury. But there were spells in which he bowled real well.
Taylor, the old timer, looked really well indeed in short spells. Maybe, like you said, a niggle. But other than that, he bowled very well. He asked a lot of questions of the left-handed batsman especially. He had both Chandrapal Hemraj and Tej Narain Chandrapal playing and missing, and that opening spell in the Jaguars' first innings was a very good one. Today he bowled with some pace as well, so he still has a lot to offer, and I think once he's fully fit he will be a handful.
Yes, Dorval Green 1 for 32 from 9 overs. Kenroy Williams 11 overs, 1 for 20. Dennis Bulai 10 overs, 2 maidens, none for 42. Jermaine Blackwood, 3 overs, no maiden, none for 17. Chadwick Walton, 2 overs, no maiden, none for 20. So the Jaguars, definitely, they will go past that 100 points and might be very, very hard to catch as they turn their attention to go to Sabina Park. Final word from you, John?
Well, another congratulations to Leon Johnson and the entire Guyana Jaguars side. Better luck next time to the Jamaica Scorpions. They played very well. It was a competitive game from the start. After being sent in, they managed to put up 358 in their first innings. And from then on, we realized that the Guyana Jaguars will have to dig deep to get back into the game. They did so. And that third innings of the game, when the Jamaica Scorpions were bowled for 132, really brought the Jaguars back into this game. And Leon Johnson, a good knock from him, bringing up victory by 7 wickets, convincing, commanding, and the title defense is back on track. So I don't think there'll be any more hiccups for the rest of the season. So they'll very well be on their way to a 5th consecutive title from here on.
Yes, and I guess from the New River Triangle in the east all the way to Wenamu in the west, they're celebrating. Final scores in the match: Scorpions 358 and 132, set 170 for victory. The Jaguars 170 for the loss of 3, winning by 7 wickets. On behalf of the entire commentary panel, our off-spinner Clyde Butts, Matthew Kisoon the pastor, and John Ramsing, this is In the Jeet, returning you to your respective studios.